Damu Keyway conversation. The only place you gonna get it is the only place you gonna get big you.
Where's welcome to the Damu Keyway conversation. Home of the West Coast. Voice of the culture. If you're on Instagram, go on over and run the YouTube at Active Chucks, or you can go to Twitch, whichever one. Be sure to subscribe on our mission to 10,000 subs on YouTube. Be a part of the team, the Damu Keyway conversation. Shout out to the Blue Rinse Mob, always on their job. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Cause I don't even see the chat, bro. Let me see what the hell's going on. Hold on. Okay, there we go. 1's in the chat. Okay, so y'all can hear me. That's all I needed to hear. Oh, yeah, we on Slimeball TV with your looking ass. You know what I'm saying? The chat is on Renegade Duchess. She been regulating like, when's the live? Well, I was supposed to go last night. I ain't gonna lie, man. Got to doing the family thing. You know what I'm saying? And G Wiz, Django Picato, salute. You know what I'm saying? We got the content. CS2 back, lie exposed, motion to Unseal challenge. We got a new challenge for CS2 back. And I hope y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me good? That should be good. Hey, 1, it's like my day ones. You dig? Bang that like button, share, tell a friend. Salute to the Blue Rinse Mob, always on their job. Trey Savage, status 773. Salute to you. Y'all make sure y'all share this with the team. Everybody that didn't get the link, everybody don't know that we going live right now. They're not going to want to miss this one. We going into it today. You know what I'm saying? I just was trying to call Scandalous Los Angeles TV. You know what I'm saying? Soul Oiler. Hear you, blood. Hear you, blood. Okay, I appreciate that, brother. Renegade Duchess. Salute. Okay, so look. Bang that like, bang that like button. I know y'all might not be able to hear what we got going on, but we're gonna get this music going in the meantime and in between time as we wait for the people to start getting up in here. You know what I'm saying? West Coast, stand on the knee with salute. G-Mac 2-1, salute. Trey Savage says, salute, blue heart, red heart. Hey, man, that's the Damu and Keyway conversations. Damu and Keyway conversations in a building for show and giving you the dopest content. Where's, welcome and subscribe. Active Chucks, Renegade Duchess, Hennessy, Wine, and I don't know what the other one is for all. Ling CS2 back, laughing my ass off. Hey, listen, man, hey, did y'all see how he trying to pimp Blueface out? It wasn't gonna be long before he made him lift up his skirt, bend over, and go get it like that. I guess Blueface supposed to be knocking down Lena, whatever her name is, Lena the Plug. Watch Baby for Life, Mo Hill, what up? We got Watts in the building. You know what I'm saying? Salute to all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Big E, salute. I see you been up in that gym, man. I've been up in that thing too. Not in the gym, but you know, just back up on my thing. I got that thing looking so. Did y'all see my inspirational AI picture? Had me feeling like I was that nigga again. You know what I'm saying? So inspirational. I'll be right back at it. And stop laughing at my AI pictures. I left it up for y'all to laugh so y'all can laugh, but stop laughing at me. Laugh with me, not at me. Hey, but no, salute to everybody, man. We're gonna get right into the content, man. I don't even want to make y'all wait for everybody else. They should have been here early. You know what I'm saying? They should have had them notifications on. So we gonna get into it early, man. CS2 back been lying so much about being CS2 back. But so for those who don't understand, we're gonna get into who CS2 back is, as CS2 back said that he would not testify because he was in fear of his life. He's what's called a 137 confidential source. We finna have to break the fans.
Why didn't you ever come knocking on my door and
right
talk
now?
To me? You saw the 302s on me before, right? You know that I was on an open book, cooperate. Why you never came?
Over the Prince.
Hey, Reggie, I want to talk to you about these things.
You want me to?
You know, I knew.
You want me to? Hold on. Oh, Reggie, if that's your question, do you want me to honestly answer it?
Yes, sir.
You sure? Because I'm trying to protect you from yourself here.
Juvie, I got that's Cash App too.
Okay. We did talk to you, Reggie, and it's documented. Okay. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Yes. This is what I'm trying to explain to you, Reggie. Whether you remember things or don't remember things, I don't have control over. Okay. Yes, it's documented. Okay. Now here's a good way. So I want to kind of segue out of this because I am trying to protect you. Okay. You understand that in the FBI, and I think this is probably a good way to end this part of the discussion.
Okay.
Back then, when I was working this case, there were two types of sources that the FBI had. They had the kind of source, we call them a 270 source. And that basically meant it was somebody that was trying to work off a beef, like they had been, arrested for drugs, or let's say they were in prison.
Which Kevin Hackney was. Make sure you let people know.
Slow down.
Okay.
Slow down. No, slow down. Okay. I didn't say that. And a 270 source is somebody that's willing to testify. They're willing to get a break on whatever the situation they're caught up in, and to try to get a break, they're willing to testify. They have to testify, or we would not open them up as 70 source.
Brooklyn in the house. Salute.
The other type of source is what we call the 137 source, and that's somebody that's not willing to testify, and we will never divulge their information, and we will never state whether they were an FBI source or not. And the reason for that is for a couple of reasons. One, it's not only to protect the source, but two, it's to show sources out there that when the FBI gives their word, when they want somebody to cooperate, if that person is willing to cooperate, but they don't want anybody to know that they're cooperating, they don't want anybody to know the kind of information they're providing, or what the reasons are that they are providing the information and cooperating, that we will never divulge their name. That includes even in front of a judge. Okay? Now that's a pretty strong relationship that the FBI would have with what we call the 137 source back then. Okay? You understand that? You understand the distinctions between the two, right?
Okay, yeah, got you.
Okay. Let's just leave this right now then, that at first you didn't think that you'd ever met with me. And now you
say you was LJ partner,
exactly.
LJ? If you was the LJ partner, then I agree that I met with you before.
Okay. You know what? For your own, Reggie, you got to trust me on this. For your own safety, let's just move on to something else then, okay?
I'm not worried about it because it's obvious.
Well,
because it's obvious.
Yeah.
Ain't that like, but if you just coming in.
Anyways, right.
Anyway, okay.
I'm just saying, be careful, Reggie. When you and here's the thing,
even if I did talk and said anything to you, I'm sure Greg Kading and them and all of them got that information, and so they had that information in their file.
Let me tell you this right now. Okay. If I had a 137 source, not just for this Biggie case, but for all the other cases that I've worked, those documents would not get handed over to an LAPD officer. Period.
Hold
on.
Okay.
I just got done telling you we would not even provide that information to a judge. Okay? So There's certain now also when there's certain files are restricted. Okay, that doesn't mean that just anybody. That means any FBI agent even could go in and say, take a look at another FBI agent's case file. Period. It's a need-to-know basis. You're under this assumption, and again, Reggie, this is where you keep making this mistake. You're assuming things that are just wrong. You're assuming that any FBI agent or anybody that's been deputized as an FBI agent is going to have access to all FBI cases. That is incorrect.
Facts.
Period. It is. Okay? So
Okay.
what I'm saying, it's probably in your best interest that we move on to something else. You can trust me or don't trust me. It's not, because it's, you know what? It's no skin off my back. But I think we can now agree that, yes, you have met with me. Yes, you have talked with me. Yes, I've met with your father. Yes, I know what your background is. In fact, I mean, in some of these other interviews that you've done, you keep saying, like, Phil Carson doesn't know shit about me. I've never met the guy. That's wrong, isn't it?
This was
That's
the first that
factually wrong.
I hear.
That's wrong.
And if you, I remember LJ, and if you said you was his partner, then I met with you.
Okay.
But he did have somebody with you.
Okay. We should probably, okay. I think we'll move on.
Blasters to the chat. Deuce already booted and still cannot see the chat, fam. I don't know what's going on with maybe you on the wrong channel, Miss Inglewood Blue. Go to the Active Chucks channel. Oh, Panda Man came in. I didn't see him. Where he go? Panda Man. Oh, there you go. Salute to the Panda Man. Salute to the OG. Deuce. The Damu Keyway Conversations in the chat. Man, salute to you. So 137 confidential source. They're going to protect the FBI, will protect that 137's identity, even from a judge knowing, so that all other people who give them confidential information will be able to trust that the FBI would never reveal who they are. You know what I'm saying? Salute, much respect. So we start with that because I know a lot of y'all just assume that all of y'all been following all this time, and there's certain little nicks and crevices that y'all might have missed along the way. One being the difference between the 270 confidential source who will testify and has to testify because they got caught selling dope or whatever they got caught doing with a blammer or something, and they working. So they have to not only provide information that leads to arrest, if necessary, they're going to have to testify and be prepared to testify and against a motherfucker if they go to trial. You know what I'm saying? Those confidential sources will be revealed once the time comes. But a 137 will never testify. They come in knowing they won't testify, but they're usually reliable sources, and they give information like, oh, I just left Mo Hill house. She had 10 tons of cocaine in there and was selling guns to the Mexican mafia, right? That type of information, if the feds run in Mo Hill house and they find that, then that was reliable information. I'm probably getting paid money, as well as also getting a certain percentage of the thing. Here go my guy. Hold on. I can't let y'all hear him. Hold on. Shalom, brother. How you doing? Okay, I'm live right now, brother. I'm working, brother. That's all I do is work. I know you don't work no more. And they're talking about you in the chat. So go run to the Active Chucks. He reading. Hey, white guy, take your flight. Reggie, you need jail, and that's a fucking box. Hey, man, listen, get out and come back, and it happens with me all the time. Yeah, she might have to go to the Active Chucks one. Big Messy Morph 2-in-1 up in here. Salute to the Damu Keyway Conversations, Reds and Blue. I'm saying barbecue rolling on the menu tonight. Salute Deuce Sims in the chat. Mike B115. Salute to the Blue Ridge Mob. Hey, could somebody make sure y'all go give Messy Marv and Panda Man they wrench, please? Mike B, can you handle that for me? You know what I'm saying? I know the old fella, y'all be trying to keep his workload light, you know what I'm saying? He kind of old, you know what I'm saying? But y'all make sure y'all do that. So that's what Wack 100 was. And at that point, that's what Reggie Wright is now. Circumstances change, so 137 can turn into a 270 if, say, he caught another case. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, my son, I got to take this. How you doing, Lamonte? Shalom, brother.
I'm doing all right, man.
So your grandfather said, is you want him to come pick you up, or what's going on?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Everything smoke,
Yeah, everything's smooth, nigga. What you mean? But yeah, call him right now. I'm live though. All right, love you, boy. That's Lamonte Jr. for those who don't know. Cut from a different cloth. Salute. Let's get to this content though. We bang that like button if you just came in, man. You know what I'm saying? Bang that like button. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this cracking. Active in the chat because the chat's where it's at. We got the question. If CS2 back. Oh, we got this one. Wack 100 lying about being CS2 back. Oh, yeah, this is good. This is really good. Let's get to this one. Boom.
Yesterday and decided to lie about being CS2 back again. As usual, whenever Porky tries to defend himself about being an informant, he only ends up telling on himself. If my memory serves me correctly, CS2 is supposed to be suing World Star and Mark Stevens. Funny because we haven't heard a word about those lawsuits since the day Porky mentioned them.
Yeah, motherfucker. Motherfucker like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, me too.
Me Too movement. And Wack, I was saying
Me
that
too,
same shit.
me
Like
too.
when they accusing you of we know you're not a rapper, they want to listen to the lie. That, oh, Wack is it.
I don't,
Like, yeah,
but
we don't
see,
give
that's
a
what I'm
fuck.
saying. I don't entertain it because I know it ain't real. So look, anytime, see, when I expose that it's a rat, it just takes me about the time it takes me to read it. I don't have to convince nobody because it's right there. These been trying to convince for 2-3 years because they ain't got no paperwork. They got my name on it that say it's me and say I got it. That even told me I've been arrested. Said I got arrested with the Main Street. I ain't for no motherfucking Main Street.
Whether you file dozens or thousands of forms, Clearly simplifies the
police
process
said
for
that. Michael Cohen said that, man.
So
they changed your whole name.
Pretty big
they didn't change my whole. No, the crazy part about it is that what's that blogger nigga from Baltimore? He went and pulled the paperwork himself. When he pulls the paperwork, it ain't even a CS2 back in the real paperwork
at all.
So
let's take notes of all the lies and fake positions that he slithers in and out of, depending on the date and time, to make people believe he's not CS2 back. So he says the Baltimore nigga says that there is no CS2 back in the paperwork. So Wack says there is no CS2 back in the paperwork. So that means Deuce Sims made this paperwork up. There is no back. No CS2 back. Y'all gotta remember this and keep up with the lies, cause he stayed lying. Y'all seen his nose on that thumbnail?
Make that up.
They added that to get.
They added
the back.
They made that up.
They added that to get.
So Wack says that we added CS2 back to the paperwork. We make sure y'all remember these things, because we gonna make sure we hold them accountable.
It in there.
So Porky just admitted that the wiretap transcripts were not made up. His only accusation is that someone added the name back to it. Funny because when Brick confronted Porky about the work, Porky was throwing the back name around without a care in the world. Never ever did he say the paperwork was fake, or that the name back was added to it. He only said that his moniker Wack was not in the paperwork, and we all know that's a lie.
Hey, bro, I'm just saying. You put that on 6-0, that name back. And then it says Wack. Then it says Wack in the same time. No, it don't. No, it don't. No, it don't. You put that on 6-0, that name back. And then it says Wack. Then it says Wack.
So then he said it doesn't say Wack in the same wiretap. So that's another lie. It doesn't say Wack or the Wack boy in the same wiretap. So we already up to 3 lies that we can prove that are demonstrably false. Let's go. No, it don't. No, it don't. No, it don't.
You guys already heard Porky admit that this paperwork was not made up. He only accused us of adding back to the paperwork. Enough time has passed since Deuce M's dropped the CS2 back paperwork, and everybody has had more than enough time to see Cash Jones's moniker, Wack, in the paperwork.
They're going to work
as
right
of today.
The Wack boy.
Porky hasn't accused anyone of falsely putting his real name in the paperwork, and he already told us this paperwork was not made up. So the next time you run into Porky, ask him this: why is your name Wack in this wiretap transcript? And why did you and your pedophile beast lie to everybody on Clubhouse and say that the paperwork did not have the name Wack in it? Remember, guys, this is the lie that he was telling before we spoke to Greg Kading. After we put the discussion we had with Greg online, Porky decided to change his lie and said made some fake work and added some back shit.
No, I'm on YouTube.
He just went and created some fake work and added some back shit. You don't see that, use a bowl, so I'm done talking about that.
So that's the 4th lie. They done created fake work and added some back shit. Created fake work and added some back shit. First we added CS2 back. Now we added the back shit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga, he all over the place. Let's go.
He just went and created some fake work and added some back shit. You don't see that, use a bowl, so I'm done talking about that shit.
Back you Wack.
Eat up.
Yes, it do. No, it don't. No, it don't. Fucking with the Wack. Who ain't fucking with Wack? Who ain't fucking with Wack? Who ain't fucking with Wack? What are you talking about? That's what Del Dog said. That's what Del Dog said. That's what Del Dog said.
So again, there goes Porky telling on himself. Del Dog did say he ain't fucking with Wack, and that's exactly what the transcripts say Del Dog said about the mystery man CS2 back.
That's what Del Dog said.
Listen, guys, I have to make sure that you fully understand what Porky just did. Brick told him that his moniker Wack was in the paperwork. Porky, the Pyru, and the trailer park pedophile beast both responded together, in unison saying, "No, it don't." Brick then responded by saying, "The paperwork said, I ain't fucking with the Wack boy," roughly paraphrasing what Mark Stevens said in the transcripts. Then CS2 back replied by asking the question, "Who ain't fucking with Wack?" Before Brick could respond, he makes another statement, screaming out, "That's what Del Dog said." So Porky just admitted that in the paperwork that he and Brick are discussing, Del Dog is recorded as saying that he's not fucking with Wack. He just admitted that Del Dog was talking about him in the paperwork.
Well, it's 2 different points where it's referenced that they not fucking with Wack like that. Wack calls Mark Stevens and he's trying to get in contact with Del Dog, saying that the phone's compromised and box went south. Mark Stevens tries to 3-way Del Dog, and he tells Del Dog, "Hey, Del Dog, Back is trying to holler at you. Back got some information." Del Dog said, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool on that brother. So that means he wasn't fucking, Dale Dog wasn't fucking with him. But the part where they actually say the Wack boy was Mark Stevens talking. Mark Stevens said, you know, that's good information. You know, I ain't helped the Wack boy in a minute. He just been calling me, trying to get in contact with you. Paraphrasing the last part, but let's go.
Hey, Porky, here's a question for you. How did you know this wiretapped conversation Mark Stevens and Del Dog were having was about you?
Right.
What did you see or read that brought you to this conclusion? And since you've admitted that it is you that they are speaking of,
that's something that has not been noted. Shout out the GOAT, Scandalous Los Angeles TV. So he's telling you right there that that's him. He got caught up in a stand on the media in the building. Salute, Panda Man. Salute. So he's telling everybody that Del Dog was saying he ain't fucking with him, right? How do you know that Del Dog was talking about you if that's not you on the wiretap? That's definitely him on the wiretap. Let's get back to it.
Explain to me why the paperwork is saying that Mark Stevens is calling you back instead of Wack.
Read the paperwork.
The police said a low-level, hey look, it said a low-level drug dealer informant by the name of Back, B-A-C-K.
See how much fun he was having with the word back in this video? See how he's spelling it out and all? He's doing everything with the word except saying that somebody added it.
Hey,
Reg, have I ever been known for selling drugs? I don't sell drugs.
Guys, stop what you're doing and head over to Fabletics because
conversation. If y'all just getting in here, bang that like button.
Right now,
y'all in here with the hottest content on the internet, the Damu Keyway conversation. We on.
Notice how he's calling out to Reggie Wright for help. The same man who admitted to the world that he worked as an informant for the FBI to put Mayor Omar Bradley behind bars. I have a $100,000 challenge for CS2 back that I promise you he won't take. I got 100 racks for anyone who can show me where the paperwork says that CS2 was a low-level drug dealer. Not CS3, not CI2. Show me where it says CS2 was a low-level drug dealer. Ask yourself, why is Porky lying about CS2's role in this? Why is he lying and saying the paperwork says something that it does not? Just another one of Wack's deflections. And Reggie Wright is right there to shield his creation.
I don't sell weed.
I just tried to snitch on you, say you did. And that burned up in his face.
Now watch this though. Look, where to work? Hey, what? Look, hey, listen. Listen, bro. Hey, listen, bro.
Wack. Your name's Wack. I don't really.
It said
Wack
back.
like that.
They put their own shit in there.
But this is what's retarded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name? If you gonna add some shit
that
and you want to make it believable,
we would have put
just
your
put
real
my real
name if we.
Why the fuck
would
would you put something in there that say it sounds like your real name? Like, this is crazy. Dude said, actually, we got the clip. He said, I went and pulled the paperwork myself. Same docket number right here.
You guys, it's just so funny. In the paperwork, Mark Stevens asked Del Dog what should he tell Back, because Back had been blowing his phone up, trying to get Dog's phone number. Del Dog responds to Mark Stevens by telling him that he was cool on Back, and he didn't want him to have his phone number. Porky the Pyru read that in the paperwork, then admitted to all of us that Del Dog was talking about him, when he told Mark Stevens he didn't want Back to have his phone number. Now he's on Clubhouse, saying somebody added the name Back. What he isn't saying, though, is that the conversation being had between Mark Stevens and Del Dog is fake, or that the conversation they're having is not about him. So Porky's only discrepancy is that somebody wrongfully placed the name back into the paperwork. I must admit, he's absolutely correct about that. The feds put the name back in the transcripts, but we all know it should say Wack. Porky himself and Officer Greg Kading admitted to everybody that Mark Stevens and Del Dog were talking about Cash Jones' Wack 100.
There is no fucking clause in there with the CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork. So, you know what I need to do? I need to let Reek and the Baltimore dude just come do a paperwork party on Wack. Just run all their work.
Well, if you do decide to do that, Porky, make sure you send this video to Reek and let him react to it on Clubhouse.
And then they got a clip of a police. This is another thing I don't like. You got the police, and I ain't never had no interaction with. He says, yeah.
Wack said he's never had no interaction with Sheriff Deputy Coet. So Wack never had interaction with Coet. So how Detective Michael, Sheriff Deputy Detective Michael Coet, gonna say you were the only one arrested? Okay, I think that should be stand on the media. Hey, I gave a gang of people beans, Renegade, Duchess, all y'all check and see. I gave y'all riches. I know how to do it on the phone now. Now back to stand on the media. Did you just hear that Wack said he never had interaction and don't know Detective Michael Coet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
yes,
I wonder how Detective Coet would know his name and say he was the only one arrested. But we'll get to that. See, these is the things that make you go, You know what I'm saying? The little subtle lies that by itself people could be like, well, you know, he doesn't know anybody. Wack always say, oh, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
And what floor did he go to? And when he go to saying dummy and stupid and all that, we know he lying, bro. Homie said he went to a certain floor of that building, bro. And I'm gonna leave it there.
Right. Let's go.
I think we arrested Cash Jones.
You guys, this isn't rocket science. This isn't E equals MC square. This is ABC 1, 2, 3. Very simple and easy to see. If a person lies about everything surrounding a situation, it's because they're guilty. He just purposely and conveniently lied and said the detective said he thinks they arrested Cash Jones. The officer didn't say one word about thinking nothing. I'm gonna play the clip. Tell me where this detective says the word think.
Erases all of the Keefe Tupac confession and all that stuff. But in my opinion, in reality, this is a task force with a lot of different agencies that all work together to get this done. Can you speak a little bit about that on if Greg's credibility hurts the findings of the entire task force?
Meaning Greg Caden.
Or not?
Dirty cop.
Hang that like button if you just coming in.
No, he's finna talk about.
First of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones. There were no arrests made other than Cash Jones, Cash Jones, Cash Jones.
Now, did you guys hear this man say anything about the word think? This is former Los Angeles detective Michael Coet, the same guy that Shug requested be present when he turned himself in for the murder of Terry Carter. He just said that out of Greg Kading's whole task force, they arrested only one person, and that person was Cash Jones. The detective didn't say he thought anything. He said there was only one person arrested, and he knew exactly who that person was.
Then you got Greg Caden, who was the lead detective over the whole case.
It's crazy that CS2 back is still on Clubhouse lying about Greg being the lead investigator.
That's another lie. Let us note that. Greg Caden was not the lead investigator.
At this point, it's safe to say that Porky is not just lying about Greg. Porky is now lying on Greg. We interviewed Greg, and he told us that Porky was lying. I can still remember the way Big Back would put his fingers in Baby Back's booty to make him go live to echo this lie.
Skechers has the perfect holiday gift for everyone.
Conversations. Man, I hope y'all enjoying the content. We back. I know the holidays, then everybody been doing the family things, put on a couple pounds. Not me, I'm losing weight, looking good, baby.
These monitors
Looking
under
good.
these circumstances, like Wack or Wack 100.
Okay, so this is the lead detective in the investigation.
So, Greg, let me ask you, because the people want to know. When Wack brought you on Clubhouse, he introduced you as the lead investigator on the Stutterbox case. Is that true? Were you the lead investigator in that case?
No, that's not true. No,
No,
that's
not true.
Here's how that went. The guys that worked down in 77th Division, primarily a couple of investigators, a guy named Christian and a guy named Mark, they wanted to do a Main Street Crypt
Mark
case.
Arenas.
And when they were doing their Main Street Crypt case, obviously we're already dealing with Box on an unrelated thing. But now Box is wrapped up in this whole dilemma with Del Dog and, all the shit that he had going on with those guys. So, we were dealing with Box entirely on a separate level, or I'm sorry, for a separate thing. And they said, hey, we want to do this kind of larger federal type of case on Main Street. Can you help us? They're asking me, Greg, can you help us get this over to the federal level and to do an investigation on the federal level? Because, some of these guys don't have that experience to know how to go from a local investigation to a broader federal investigation. So they came to me, say, Greg, can you help us? I said, yeah, absolutely. You guys got a good case here.
Inglewood Blue.
So I helped them initiate the case. I helped them get up on a wiretap and, kind of helped oversee it. They were really the leads on it. They had the intel. They knew who the players were. They knew what the history was. And I became aware of it. I started to realize, what Box had to do with Shaq and what Box had to do with Del Dog and all of that. So that was it. I wasn't like the main. I was one of the guys that was directly involved, but more of like an overseer as opposed to the boots on the ground kind of guy.
Hey, says, what are you talking about? Cash Jones was never arrested. But they don't play that part. They just cut it out the other time. They just stop it right there. Y'all think we arrested Cash Jones. They don't let the other dude come in 4 seconds later and say, yo, bro, what are you talking about? This dude was never arrested. We arrested all the main streets. Cash Jones is on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. Cash Jones is on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. Cash Jones is on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. You were on the Main Street side of the investigation. So if Cash Jones would have been arrested, it wouldn't have been by you, it would have been by us, because we were on the Suge Knight side of the investigation.
That's more of the game that CS2 Back is attempting to play on the people. He's trying to make us believe that there's two sides to one investigation. CS2 Back was arrested, just like Detective Coet said he was. But his arrest...
But pay attention, Wack is saying that he was arrested on the Suge Knight side of the investigation, meaning the Biggie murder investigation. We're going to play that again. Y'all didn't hear it from me. Y'all heard it from CS2 Back himself. Let's go.
But they don't play that part. They just cut it out the other time.
And all of that. So that was it. I wasn't like the main.
You got to play that back because that's very integral.
I was one of the guys that was directly involved, but more of like an overseer as opposed to the boots on the ground kind of guy.
Hey, says, what are you talking about? Cash Jones was never arrested.
They wanted them content. Scanner's getting paid. Don't hate on them. Let's hit that like button, man. I got you right now, Inglewood Blue. I'm just over here getting things together for the content.
But they don't play that part. They just cut it out the other time. They just stop it right there. Y'all think we arrested Cash Jones. They don't let the other dude come in 4 seconds later and say, yo, bro, what are you talking about? This dude was never arrested. We arrested all the main streets. Cash Jones was on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. Cash Jones was on the Suge Knight side.
Cash Jones, let's note that. Cash Jones was on the Suge Knight side. Was on the Suge Knight side. So he on here talking bad about Suge, and he saying Stutterbox told on him. What did Stutterbox say that Wack 100 told them? We'll get to that later. Let's go.
Of the investigation. Cash Jones was on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. You were on the Main Street side of the investigation. So if Cash Jones would have been arrested, it wouldn't have been by you, it would have been by us, because we were on the Suge Knight side of the investigation.
That's more of the game that CS2 Back is attempting to play on the people. He's trying to make us believe that there's two sides to one investigation. CS2 Back was arrested, just like Detective Coet said he was. But his arrest had absolutely nothing to do with Stutterbox and the Main Street Crip case. Greg Kading erased Porky's arrest from history after Pork Butt corroborated his narrative that Poochie killed Biggie for Marion Knight. This is what Stutterbox was explaining to Deuce M's.
So look, I asked you this morning, I said, hey, was Wack ever on the phone with you asking you to knock down Dildo? Because we already know that that he was trying to backdoor you, right?
Greg Kading, I did 4 years in the face. I did Greg Kading sent me to prison.
Right.
He got on the stand and sent me to prison. Because after they did what they did and Wack knew about what he did, they couldn't take them to jail because they would have had to involve Wack. So Wack had to give him something clean. Wack gave him Poochie from Compton.
Poochie from Fruitown, Paru.
He the one killed Poochie. No, Poochie killed Biggie.
Right.
For sure. And Wack knew the inside information. He gave it to Greg Kading. Greg Kading closed his book and made Wack look like a hero.
So how would Wack even know about the shit with Poochie?
Hey, Deuce, you know exactly how he knew about Poochie. The man who introduced him to the music industry and to Marion Knight is one of the men who helped create that entire narrative.
And I have my notes. So according to Greg Kading, Poochie killed Biggie.
That's the story, I believe.
And Poochie was an associate of Suge?
Whatever the story is that Greg is pushing is what I believe.
Just how did that, connection develop between you and Reggie to begin with?
Okay, so I'd never met Reggie in my life until I think 2008. So we were already several years into the investigation. And of course, Reggie Wright, I had already seen all the interviews that he conducted, both with the FBI and with the LAPD and with the Sheriff's Department. There was a long history of interviews with Reggie Wright. Yeah. And so I was privy to all of that information. I know what he had said. I know what he didn't say. And so at some point in time, we just went and said, hey, we'd like to continue to ask you some questions. We built a rapport, as we would with anybody that we want to interview. And we then began to unravel some of the things that he thought might lead us down the right road. He thought might lead us down the right road. He thought might lead us down the right road.
Where did the whole Poochie theory come in? It kind of seemed like it came from Reggie at Death Row Camp. And I don't know, could that be a red herring at all?
Reggie doesn't really tell us so much about Poochie. He just leads us into a direction where we meet a female. He just leads us into a direction where we meet a female. He just leads us into a direction where we meet a female who then substantiates some of the things that could have, we believed could have been true.
As you can see, Reggie was working very hard to pin the murder of Biggie Smalls on Marion Knight. You heard Greg say that Reggie led them into the direction of Teresa Swan. You guys also heard Reggie admit that he took the same woman to meet with the FBI when he spoke to Phil Carson. I wish I could play the clip for you, but I can't, because Reggie will copyright strike me. At any rate, Reggie did Marion Knight, the exact same way that he did Omar Bradley. My point is that this is how CS2 back was able to give Greg the info he needed on Poochie.
We believe could have been true.
Get all the perks with a PF Black Card for $1 down and $24.90.
Conversations. Just so we all make sure everybody keeping up, right? So Reggie Wright Jr. Pork Butt gave Death Row Records the plant CS2 back. Wack 100. Wack 100 gets caught with these guns in Texas, right? He gets caught with these guns in Texas, fought the case for 6 years. A month after the main streets were indicted, Wack 100 gun case was dismissed in the interest of justice, right? So you back it up to the death row investigation, which he says he came in on the death row investigation, right? That doesn't mean he didn't snitch on the Main Street Crips. When you read the paperwork, when they talk about CS2 back, they said he provided historical, reliable information on the Main Street Mafia Crips. CS2 back provided historical, reliable information on the Main Street Mafia Crips. But that wasn't enough. If you hear what Stutterbox said, that wasn't enough. He had to give them something clean. And he says he's on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. We're going to get more into that. But Reggie Wright gave the game CS2 back. And when he caught that case, you know he told Reggie, man, Reggie, they gonna lie. I need to get out of here. Kim gonna leave me. I can't go back to prison. I got the game sold up. Reggie, and you know I got you. You know I got you 3-finger back. But you gonna have to let Alan Grumblock have his way with you. And you're going to have to tell them that Poochie killed Biggie and Suge gave the order. Send them to Teresa Swan, Suge's baby mama. I'm already lace her with the script. She's going to corroborate what you already gave them. That's what's going on, people. If you ain't kept up, let's go.
Hey, I'm gonna say
Tammy Hawkins. I call her Teresa Swan, but it's one and the same.
She has 2 names.
Yeah.
And she has a child with Suge.
Correct.
But I guess there was some money that changed hands?
Yeah, according to her, she gave Poochie, I think it's 14 grand or something like that. The solicitation involved an amount of 25,000. Clearly she keeps whatever the remainder was after 14 grand.
Okay, so she gets 25,000 from Suge? Allegedly?
That's allegedly, yeah. We were never able to track down these transactions. When we become aware of it, when she's telling us this story, years have passed, bank accounts are closed, Suge's been to prison, and so, yeah, we were never able to validate that claim with any tangible evidence. We're just relying on her statement, but it's backed up by other people within death row who are saying, yeah, we were all trying to figure out a way to get $25,000 in untraceable funds so that we could, for something Suge needed done. They weren't aware that the money was for a hit.
So you're saying death row employees confirmed that they were trying to get $25,000 to her?
Yeah, there was a guy named Norris Anderson who was involved in this conversation, but again, it was unwittingly. He didn't know.
And Norris Anderson, what was his role?
Norris Anderson ran death row for Suge at a point. He might even be related to Suge Knight. I need to Google that real quick. Hold on. Because I don't want to don't give me the welling. So they also implicated Norris Anderson. I didn't even know they implicated him. You know what I'm saying? Norris. Let's see what they say. They got pictures of him. Who is the man? It don't really go in. He don't got his own shit. Oh, Wikipedia. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. I'm gonna look for. it. We're gonna have to double back and do a deep dive on Norris Anderson. So they had Tanisha Swan implicate Norris Anderson, Suge Knight, and Poochie in the unaliving of the notorious B.I.G. that first started with Wack 100, CS2 back. And then he also gave up Tanisha Swan, Suge Knight's baby mom. And from there, they come run with this narrative, which just so happens to save the city of Los Angeles $400 to $500 million in a wrongful death lawsuit filed by the estate of the notorious B.I.G. How cool. What a coinky deal.
He was married to Suge's sister, and he was also
he was
an employee
married
at
to
Death Row.
Suge.
Okay, like a management type of employee.
Okay. So he admitted getting $25,000 to her, but not knowing what it was for.
And then, of course, we have Reggie Wright Jr. And then, of course, we have Reggie Wright Jr. And then, of course, we have Reggie Wright Jr. Reggie Wright Jr., who I think is aware of this conversation also.
We're the one raided his home. Your name ain't on the warrant. Wasn't nothing there, right? So
wasn't nothing there.
I don't know.
Habitat Dane has
Hold
partnered
on.
with over
Did Wack say when they
696 local
raided his home wasn't nothing there?
home ownership.
This shit is crazy. So that's one. I'm a Panda Man, stand on it before we get to the next video. Anything y'all want to add to what we just Wack said wasn't nothing found in the home? Let me note that also. All of these damn lines. We on the second page already. Stand on the media. I can't hear you, bro. You got anything you want to say?
Nah, man. Same story, man. You know, lie, deflect. You got a linebacker, a whole team of people out there that's going to defend them and spin the narrative and change the narrative, you know. You just went to court with him in a civil suit, and it proved that he's CS2 back, but he did a great job of spitting it out here. But I think the people are starting to wake up. And every time you do these type of lives that points out his contradictions, the closer it gets to people really buying in to the fact that this dude is at least hiding something. So I don't think this is all for nothing. You know what I mean?
Facts. What's up, Neezy Cobb? Salute, Panda Man. Anything you want to add to or add to what we just broke down on that video?
You cooking, bro. I'm just gonna say, you gotta remember what that grease do to your mental. You know what I'm saying? With Reggie, you know.
Grease fucking with your mental. Pork butt. Now that's a fact, bro. So we gonna get rid of that.
You cooking, bro. You cooking. Handle your business.
Oh yeah, we own. So he get caught in multiple other lies. We going right back to Scandalous. See, I talk so much shit to Scandalous because he waiting on his new computer. He been having technical difficulties, and when he said when he come back, he's really finna go hard. So I've been telling him he don't work. He's lazy. I think y'all should all go to his channel and tell him the exact same thing, right? And say, fuck the union. Ever since he joined the union, shit ain't been the same. You know what I'm saying? Tell him common sense. If the feds make any kind of contact with you, they got something on you. If they don't, they get someone to say otherwise. That's a fact, Slim Fat Dude. A lot of people,
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this.
Hold on. Hey, Slim Fat Dude, 100% right, bro. A lot of people don't know how the feds move. You know what I'm saying? They never interacted with or had that type of things or witness. You know what I'm saying? How the feds come. The feds are asleep with. My mama told me her daddy told her this. The feds will sleep with you for years and have all kind of evidence already against you. Controlled buys, video camera footage of you serving dope, you popping at niggas, you carrying blammers. They got all of this, but they haven't came to get you because in their mind, what's the rush? the longer we wait, the longer he's going to do in prison. You understand what I'm saying? That's why they'll have a motherfucker come by 2 ounces of hard for you, knowing that 56 grams of crack cocaine used to be a mandatory minimum of 10 years, right? Before they changed the crack law. So they'll get you with that 2 ounces, and then they'll have the camera in the fucking informant's chain, bro. They have the camera on the informant broad's purse. You know what I'm saying? While she makes the control buy. And they don't run up in there after you finish. They're going to send her once a week. So in 56 weeks, she done came and bought 2 ounces of crack cocaine from you once a week. So 56 times 2 ounces, you finna go to jail for every one of those kilos of crack cocaine, which is a life sentence. Unless when they sit down with you, they put it in front of you. Hey, this is what we got. You see this video? Play the video for you. You remember that? Well, we got 56 weeks worth of control buys that you got every week. We sent her in there on Tuesdays only. Every Tuesday we was sent her in there. She was working for us, or he was working for us. So it's either you finna give us what we want, or you gonna be the tough guy and you finna be doing 360 months in federal prison, which don't got conjugals, right? And 90% of these niggas that claim they gangsters is finna snitch. Stop listening to these niggas. They not that. And then the crazy part about it is the percentage is even higher than that. But sometimes them niggas actually don't have nothing to tell that's worth more than the time that they face it. Or it would be even higher percentage of niggas that rap. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how the feds move. But what you were saying, Panda Man, before we move on?
So I connect with you offline. Let's get Scandalous back going as soon as possible, and we'll do you my dog. You we good.
All right,
So,
you sound like a plan. I already know what you want. We on. Remember back then they wanted a way to bring down Suge Knight. Yeah, they was on Suge every chance they could. And the crazy thing, Paul Fournier and I think 70 sheriffs raided Suge's house. Paul Fournier is Michael Coet's partner. So yeah, man, that was like 2002, 2003. You know what I'm saying? These children need to know this before they get out there in them streets. Man, they really need to know it. I've been watching this shit on the internet, and it's so much of this gang shit. I see indictments going from hood to hood to hood, RICOs and indictments, right? And I'm saying, oh, they finna tear LA up. They going to every hood, and these niggas is working, and these youngsters don't know what's going on. And they're jumping online, validating themselves as gang members, crossing out and putting K's at the end of certain words and shouting them out. I don't give a fuck. I don't do crime. Only way being a gang member in itself is not a crime. But once you attach criminal behavior to it, then you're doing it for the criminal enterprise and in furtherance of the notoriety of the gang. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you get the gang and the gang enhancements and all of that shit. I know niggas who got more enhancements than they got for the actual crime. Nigga might have 5-10 years for the crime, and gang enhancement and 3 strikes and all of these other enhancements got their ass 30-40 years. That's a fact, bro. These people's a whoop you. But let's get to this next video. We got a couple of them. Facts Deuce is crazy as fuck right now, bro. That's why you got to stay a fuck away from these young niggas, because you can't tell them shit. They think they know everything, and then We wonder why the snitch rate's so high right now.
The feds run the shit.
Oh, this was classic. Oh, did y'all hear? This is a broken slave. I want y'all to know what a Sambo look like, a sellout. This rat that we expose, you know what I'm saying, who also cooperated, what they said, I gotta remember the term that they use. Extraordinary cooperation, nigga. Listen to what he say. Imagine all the shit he gave up. He gave up the nigga that got life. He ended up getting life for that shooting. So we know he gave that up. But how much other shit y'all think this nigga gave up? Imagine if this was your crime, and you knew he was in the interrogation room. Listen.
In the street, the feds run the shit. Law enforcement run the shit.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Reggie and John over at Bomb first brought CS2 back onto their YouTube channel yesterday, giving viewers the chance to ask whatever questions they wanted. Man, Porky really did himself a disservice this time. He told so many lies on Reggie's panel, I decided to break them down in segments instead of doing one long video. Today's segment is going to expose just how much of a liar CS2 back is. With everything that happened with Big U, it's impossible to ignore the hidden role Porky played in getting people to implicate Big U and themselves in multiple crimes. We already know Porky's been working, which is why today we're going back to CS2 back. Now Porky is admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic. This comes after Deuce pointed out that Officer Greg Kading never claimed the paperwork was fake. Because of that, Porky decided to abandon his lie about Deuce making fake work.
So Wack was saying that I made the fake work, I added the CS2 back shit, all the shit we noted earlier, but once we pointed out that Greg Kading never said it was fake. In fact, Greg Kading said, doesn't the paperwork say CS2 back, when he was talking to Scandalous Los Angeles? So he went back to that and switched up the lie again. Oh man, a chameleon snitch, nigga. Hashtag CS, nigga. Chameleon snitch, nigga.
And adding back to it. Instead, he created a new lie and put it together with his original lie. The new lie is that Deuce made fake work and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it. And he merged that with his original lie, which was that CS2 back was just a low-level drug dealer and that he himself doesn't sell drugs. The problem with Porky's original lie is that the paperwork doesn't say anything about CS2 back being a low-level drug dealer. The only reason Porky is lying like this is to cover up the fact that he's actually CS2 back, the federal informant.
Man, I remember you, man. Reggie Wright and Wack 100. Can you please explain to the Eagle Balls the Dale Dog case was a state case, not federal? Correct.
Dale Dog was a state case involving all Main Street.
Now, first, that's a lie. We just heard Greg Kading saying, no, he wasn't the lead of the investigation, that Detective Arenas and the LAPD officers wanted to federalize the Main Street Crip case. And I got the paperwork where he shows his Rolodex, the date that he met with Detective Arenas and them, and he helped them become federalized agents for purposes and jurisdiction of the Main Street Mafia Crip case, which involved out-of-state crimes, etc. So they were investigating. So he's lying about that, and he said it was only Main Streets that were investigated. Well, what about Mark Stevens? What about Shaquille O'Neal? What about Ray J? What about DJ K-Slate? Those dudes and you are the Pyru. All of you guys were talked to. So what do you mean that it was only Main Streets? he's being very deceptive with these terms that he's adding into the statements to mislead these dumbass 100 EBT niggas. But we own it. Let's go.
All main streets.
The reason Porky emphasizes all main streets, the way he just did, is because he's trying to distance himself from the speculation. Porky want people to believe that only main streets were involved in this case. And by making it clear that he wasn't directly from Main Street, he's attempting to convince people that he couldn't have been involved. A typical tactic of Porky's used to deflect attention and create a narrative that separates him from any direct ties.
Yes.
Right? Some other shit they threw me in that I was never arrested, never had nothing to do with. One Main Street took the stand on 7 or 8 main streets. All you got to do is go pull the work up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, yeah,
Yeah.
the state case held in CCB court. Well, I'm going to keep it real. Dude, when it took the stand in front of the whole LA, the whole court with streetmen and Muslims, dude walked in that motherfucker, took the stand in front of everybody for about 4 or 5 months and walked out and jumped in his Rolls Royce and drove off.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
I remember Captain Will. You know Captain Will, FOI.
Yeah.
Brother Will.
Yeah.
Brother Will called me and was like, yo, Wack, can you talk to him? I said, bro, talk to him about what? He's fully aware of what he's doing. He's doing it in front of y'all.
Yeah.
What you want me to tell you?
Could you explain his relationship? I know the answer to this, but a lot of people get him mixed up and calls him Farrakhan's nephew. Could you explain their relationship?
That is Farrakhan's nephew. That's not a lie.
That's by the sister, right? I know. I'm saying I know it. I'm just want you.
No, his dad's his father's sister.
Yeah, something about a sister. I know. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, his father's sister is Farrakhan's wife. That's not a lie. That's true.
I live in Los Angeles, so you asking me to he told you, I'll get you and your boyfriend on the phone. You know who I call your boyfriend. And we'll call him. And he said he'll get you on the phone with Mark Stevens.
You gotta give Reggie an E for effort, because he sure acts like he's protecting Porky. Reggie and Porky both know we don't have to get on the phone with Mark Stevens or Stutterbox. We have all heard both of their testimonies, and both of them said Porky was CS2 back. I want you guys to listen close to what Porky says next, because he completely switches the narrative that he was running before, which is more proof that he is indeed CS2 back.
I think Harvard is the Main Street.
Right? This is the thing. If you go read the real paperwork, dude made. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. If you read it, it says CS2 back. If you read it, it says CS2 back.
Do you guys understand what just happened? Porky just told me that I need to go read the real paperwork.
And the real paperwork says what? CS2 back. How about that? First, Deuce Sims added some back shit. There is no CS2 back. They went and added some back shit and all of this, right? But he admitted that they were talking about him on the thing. Now he said, go get the real paperwork. And the real paperwork said CS2 back. Damn. I wonder how Deuce Sims made that fake paperwork up if the real paperwork said this before I ever knew about any Deja 34 records or Main Street Mafia, Crip, or Death Row investigations. Let's go.
Not the fake one that Deuce allegedly made. Porky claimed that Deuce created some fake paperwork and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it. But here's where it gets interesting. Porky then starts telling me what the real paperwork says. He says, it says CS2 back. This is Porky, in front of the entire world, admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic, just like Greg Kading said it was. But that's not even the funny part. The real kicker is that after we released the audio of Greg Kading saying Porky was back, Porky accused Deuce of making fake paperwork. However, when he said this, he didn't mention Deuce putting his real name in it. Instead, he claimed Deuce created fake paperwork and just added back to it.
He's winning credit, some fake work, and add some back shit. You don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit. He's winning credit, some fake work, and add some back shit. You don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit. But this is what's retarded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name? If you gonna add some shit and you want to make it believable, just put my real name.
Main Street,
Why
his
the
name
fuck
in the
would you put
paperwork.
something in there that say it sounds like your real name? Like, this is crazy. Dude said, actually, we got the clip. He said, I went and pulled the paperwork myself. Same docket number right here.
Right.
There is no fucking clause
That's a
in
good
there
point,
with
Mike.
the CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
Now, fast forward to today. Porky is openly admitting that the real, authentic paperwork actually says CS2 back, which directly contradicts his earlier claims that Deuce added back to it. So now, on Reggie's panel, Porky has completely changed his story, essentially repackaging his lie, which only helps to expose him even further. The contradictions are piling up, and it's becoming clear that Porky can't keep his story straight.
If you read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets.
Not
See, these are the
necessarily,
things they
T-Mac.
leave out about this CS2.
T-Mac, there's a chance that Mark Stevens, I don't know if he was dealing with Mark Stevens, but there's a chance that Del Dog might have told him who CS2 back was before he died, but not necessarily, because those dudes were taking orders, allegedly taking orders from Dog. Dog was the direct connection with Mark Stevens, who was the direct connection with Shaquille O'Neal. Allegedly. All of this allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it.
Back to, right? He's winning credit, some fake work, and add some back shit. Read it, it says CS2 back.
Right, Papa Trail.
Is a low-level drug dealer.
He lied like a motherfucker.
Who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? There is no fucking clause in there with the CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
I really hope you guys can see what's going on here. If you didn't believe Porky was CS2 back before, I hope you believe it now. Initially, Porky claimed that there was no clause in the paperwork mentioning CS2 back, and that Deuce was the one who added that detail. But now, Porky is contradicting himself, saying that the CS2 back paperwork is legit, and that it clearly states CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. This should be enough to prove to the entire world that the CS2 back paperwork is real, and that Porky the Pyru is, in fact, CS2 back. Porky even told me directly to go read the paperwork, and I'd see that it says CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. Now I'm just going to tell you all right now. The paperwork does not say that. Porky is lying again. He's a master at spinning stories, but the truth is clear. He's caught in his own web of lies.
I ain't never had a dope case in my life. Yeah. And if I was a dope dealer, best believe I wouldn't have been a low-level dope dealer. And best believe I don't have no family that I got to worry about that live in the main.
Now, Mike B, that's one of the rules of the paperwork.
My neighborhood is probably about 18
on the
miles
kidnapping assault.
18 to 20 good miles. So if you go read it, but again, you probably a dude from Scandinavia or something who don't understand what you're reading. You got to tell yourself, well, it gives a description of who this dude is and what he does in the streets. Does it fit my description?
Yeah.
Porky knows I'm not from Scandinavia. If I was, his empty spin attempts might actually work. So what I do next is I send Porky a $10,000 challenge, asking him to provide proof before all of Reggie's viewers that the paperwork said CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer. You see, these are the uninterrupted lies Porky has been on Clubhouse telling for years. This is the reason he blocked Deuce on Clubhouse. Porky knows the kind of holes Deuce would poke through his lies. So he avoids him like the bubonic plague.
All right, Scandalous, this is your Reggie. Tell him I challenge him to $10,000 right now. You have to show it and put it in escrow. Everybody always talking about money, but you put it in escrow. And he said, I'll challenge right now on this live show us where is a CS2 was a low-level drug dealer. Ask him that, Reggie. Okay.
We can get to that right now.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Where all of a sudden it said Cash Jones. Like, it was crazy.
Okay. But this is what's retarded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name?
That's why you said the real one when you said it.
All you got to do is go pull it up under Liddell Rawls. That's Dale Dog name.
Okay.
Pull that document up under that paperwork, then read it. Fuck with this bullshit they got. You go pull up Liddell Rawls, right? And then read it.
We gonna T-Mac. We know what he told about the Biggie shit as far as that, and we know you got to read the paperwork, bro. You asking all these questions. Stop asking questions and go read the paperwork. The paperwork tell you he provided reliable information, what information he could assist them with, and what information he had nothing to offer in pertaining directly to the Main Street Crips. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely says CS2 Back provided reliable historical information about the Main Street Crips, bro. So we need to go read the work. Get into some of these what you call it. I just read one page of the paperwork. I'm gonna read 2 more pages because Scandalous challenged them, and Reggie read it. $10,000 bet that Wack 100 can't go through the paperwork and show them where it says that CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer and a Main Street Crip. See, this is right here. Okay, so there go the part that you need to read right there, right? CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. However, CS2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activities and narcotic distribution network. So he only knew a little bit of how they was moving work. And he would know that because of his proximity to Box and whatever Box ran his mouth about, right? CS2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to Main Street Mafia Crip gang members. Additionally, CS2 is unable to provide information regarding the narcotics customers, flows of narcotic proceeds, and methods that they are using in laundering their narcotic proceeds. CS2 is only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip gang members. If he was from Main Street, he'd be able to, you'll know almost everybody in the set because that's where you're from. So that was another clue that it was somebody who was familiar with the hierarchy. Has he known a little bit about the narcotic transactions? But he didn't know, he only knew a few of the main street. CS2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collecting and distribution of proceeds. CS2 is also unable to provide any information regarding the Main Street. He is also unable to provide any information regarding the Main Street Mafia Crip organization, and I think it says
why
chain of
Scandalous
command
was
or
tricking
something.
that, we already tricked him out of 2,000. Scandalous trying to trick him out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
He wants the bag.
Yeah, Scandalous, he tried to bait the niggas so bad. Well, he know he CS2 back, so he know the Scandalous was too sure of himself. He was too cocky, right? So
Correct.
Reggie read it, Wack listening, and it says CS2 back. See, what Wack is reading, you see this stuff that's crossed out? Huh?
No, I'm listening to you dudes. You said, repeat that one more time for me.
Look at the thing at the screen. You see the paperwork that's crossed out, the part.
Yeah, with the line at the top in the right hand. Well, it'll be my right top corner with the X going. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right. So right there, if I blow it all the way up, y'all should be able. No, that's as much as it go. It says CI2, confidential informant 2.
Wow.
Right? And that's the low-level purchaser of crack cocaine, et cetera, right? You got a CI2, and then you got a CS2. So when his dumb ass can't read no paperwork, you gang goofy from when he was horny for content. You know what I'm saying? The nigga don't know how to read no work.
What really happened here is that Porky was spinning. He knows the difference between CS2 and CI2, and he saw that the entire section for CI2 was blacked out with a marker. So why would Porky read the crossed out section, but completely miss the paragraph underneath it? That just happens to be about CS2 back. But hey, it's all out in the open now. We're going to go through that paperwork, just like Porky told us to. And it's crazy, because every time we do exactly what Porky says, all we find are more lies from him. And the blame just keeps landing squarely on his shoulders. The truth is coming to light, and Porky's attempts to spin the story only make his lies more obvious.
So we thought we had one. You know what I'm saying? Scandalous try to bamboozle the nigga. The nigga talking about CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer and this and this and this and that, right? No, that's CI2 back.
Right. I'm listening. Yeah.
So CS2
Bang that like button if you just coming in.
reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. In the history of Main Street, and shout out to the Main Streets, they got a lot of legendary niggas over there that was getting to that bag. Richie Rich, all kind of dudes, right?
Hold on. We got Shortstop in the Field podcast says, hey, Deuce, didn't CS2 say in the paperwork that he was scared for his safety and family and Big U paperwork? If so, Crazy How has a lot of the same claims and traits in every RICO he's involved in. Damn, that's a good point. Let's go.
Dale Dog is one of the most known Main Street Mafia Crips that ever done it in South Central LA, right? Just the accomplishments he made coming up off the east side of South Central LA with his whole crew on. Nigga ain't on till my whole crew on, nigga. He did that. But anyway, CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning Main Street Mafia Crip organization. Good luck to Wack talking about he didn't ever snitch on nobody. However, CS2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activities and narcotic distribution network. CS2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to mainstream Mafia Crip gang members. Additionally, CS2 is unable to provide information regarding the narcotic customers, flow of narcotic proceeds, and methods that they are using to laundering their narcotic proceeds. CS2 is only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip gang members. Why would you say that it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer for Main Street Crip when it makes it clear with this definition he's only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip gang members? How you from Main Street, but you can't identify but a few Main Street Mafia Crip members? The nigga ain't from Main Street. That was one of the clues, you goofy ass nigga. Goofologist 101, nigga. CS2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collections and distribution of proceeds. CS2 is also unable to provide any information regarding the mainstream Mafia Crip organization. And we got one more page. So look, so with other leaders of the other large gang organizations, CS2 is able to provide limited information regarding violent assaults committed by Main Street Mafia Crips, including shootings, burglaries, and murders. CS2 is unwilling to testify in court against members of the Main Street Mafia Crip because CS2 is fearful of retaliation against CS2 and or CS2's family. CS2 believes that if any member of the Main Street Mafia Crip criminal organization becomes aware of CS2's cooperation with law enforcement, the organization will likely orchestrate the execution of CS2.
Porky tried to create this narrative that CS2 back was a Main Street Crip, but we've just found out that was a lie. He also tried to push the idea that he wouldn't have to worry about his family being harmed by anyone, because they don't live on Main Street. But the paperwork tells a completely different story. It clearly states that CS2 back refused to testify, because if anyone from Main Street found out he was working, they'd quickly arrange for his execution. What's more, CS2 back specifically mentioned that if anyone from Main Street found out, and he just so happened to live right across the street from Stutterbox, who was from Main Street, he'd be in serious trouble. Porky was afraid that if Stutterbox found out, he'd either come kill him, or he'd expose where Porky and his wife were living, putting them both in danger.
So, does it say anywhere in about CS2, did y'all see anything that said something about a low-level drug dealer about CS2, not CI2, CS2? Anything about a low-level drug dealer, or just this declaration that this confidential source is a Main Street Mafia Crip member? No. In fact, everything in there seems to indicate that he has limited information about who the Main Streets is, how the insides of how they're laundering their money, where their dope is delivered, but he was able to give them a little, limited amount.
You can't give me an AKA. I ain't never been a pack.
It's Black Friday at Ashley. Save up to $900 on beauty
Hey, pardon me, man. That shit just came out like that. Made me almost choke. That nigga said, you can't give me an AKA, bro. We didn't give you an AKA, nigga. Your handlers gave you an AKA. But we gonna go. My boy Panda Man wanted to say something. He had interrupted. What you was saying, bro?
Nah, so my respect for you, homie. I want to first start out by apologize for coming off mic. But I was gonna say,
You good.
you know, OG. You know me, bro. Hey, let's talk offline because they popped it, but like you fucking with scandals, like we'll put that up. Like, so I ain't even gonna even say nothing, bro. Like, I'm saying like what I finna say in that video, that part where you was at, because I don't want you to get misunderstood what I was saying, but like he always wanna come off on like this and that, this and that. Man, pop that. You nothing, man. It is what it is, bro. Like, hey, holler me offline, Deuce.
All right, I got you. Stand on it. Anything you wanted to add to that one?
Nope, not at all, man. You cooking though.
Oh man, we on too. This is just the beginning. Well, it ain't the beginning, but so not only did he do that? Oh, we gonna break this shit down. Maria gonna be mad at me because we got to get this all the way down. We don't got to go into the Aunt Hefe. Let's go into Wack lying about being C blank Wack. You know what I'm saying? Let's go there, and then we gonna break down this actual conversation because I got a motion for everybody that's here. Stick around, bro. I got a motion that I wrote out to the courts for Wack 100 to unseal his file. After this video, I'm going to read that motion and we'll get to the last video and we out. All he got to do, since he's claiming this ain't him, is sign the motion giving authorization for the courts to release the statement he made to the Greg Caden and the Federal Joint Task Force on the 60th floor, even though it's only 17 floors there. But what in that conference room, or should I say interrogation room, we're going to go into some of the things said in that interrogation room. But that's one of the things that would be released. Second, the statements that he made at his attorney's office when he met Greg Caden and Detective Darren Dupree at his attorney's office. See, Wack met with them 2 times. So we won't. You can't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, nigga. Rain is cold. That piss is kind of warm. You know what I'm saying? It just don't feel the same. I know that you playing games. Then the last thing is the sentencing transcripts or the court transcripts from the day and reasoning that the judge moved to dismiss your gun case in Wheeler County, Texas, in the interest of justice. That's it. 1, 2, 3. So I've already sent this motion to Reggie Wright Jr. because Reggie Wright Jr. texts my phone with the unicorn link, which said a motion claiming settlement, all of this shit. They trying to an motion to dismiss the case by Wack's lawyers because they're claiming the settlement. I said, what that mean? Tell them to show the settlement agreement. And then, matter of fact, let's get into that part first, since I've already been pretty much broke all of that part down. So I could read to y'all exactly what I told him, Reggie Wright Jr., right? So let's go all the way to the bottom. And damn. Okay, boom. So The first thing I told him was a settlement is not a judicial finding. Stop trying to cover for your rat son. When he sent me the thing, I said, a settlement is not a judicial finding. Google it. You don't got to believe me. I'm no lawyer. But if you Google or Chat GPT, is a settlement the same as a judicial finding? They're going to explain to you the difference. If he really wants to vindicate himself, then he can sign this. Let me show y'all what he can sign. It's a release. This is the new CS2 back challenge. You dig? This is a challenge to vindicate Cash McElroy Jones. This is drafted for filing in LA County Superior Court. You can change if the case is federal tax. Proposed motion to unseal records relating to Cash McElroy Jones. Superior Court of California County, Los Angeles. And then this will be my name, attorney name, address, email, attorney for movement, right? Case McElroy, Cash McElroy Jones, case number, all of that, if known. And then the motion, and notice a motion to unseal. Hold on, who is that? Notice a motion to unseal federal task force statements of Cash McElroy Jones, right? Statements made at defense counsel's office and the transcripts of the Texas gun case dismissal hearing when it was dismissed. These are the three things that Wack 100 has to do to clarify what was said, that he didn't snitch on nobody, and that he's not CS2 back. To the honorable clerk, the clerk and all parties, please take notice that on this date and time, or as soon as the matter may be heard, move it. We'll move the court for an order unsealing all records, statements, transcripts, and documents related to the statements by Cash McElroy Jones to a federal joint task force at FBI headquarters. Y'all want me to play that clip? Well, no, I'm quite sure y'all remember that. The statement by Cash McElroy Jones to the joint federal task force at his attorney's office. Third, all court transcripts from the hearing of Jones's Texas firearm case was dismissed in the interest of justice. This motion is brought under California Rules of Courts, the First Amendment, and the public presumption, recognizing NBC subsidiary 20 Cal 4th 1178 on grounds that no valid findings exist to justify continued sealing, and the nation bears substantial public interest. Memorandum of Points and Authorities introduction. The records relating to Cash McElroy's statements to federal task force officials and the transcripts of the Texas criminal dismissal hearing are currently sealed or inaccessible. Movement seeks disclosure because these statements were provided during government-led investigations. The Texas dismissal appears to have relied on factors of public concern. No articulated sealing order compliant with California Rules of Court 2.550 appears to exist, and there is compelling public interest and transparency regarding law enforcement cooperation and judicial dismissal of criminal charges. Because no overriding interest has been formally established to justify sealing, the records must be unsealed. The legal standard for that, under CRC 2.550C, all records are presumptively public unless confidentiality is required by law. Another reason that you know that Wack 100 is an informant. Well, I'll go into that next. It's my text messages with Greg Caden, who says that these do exist, but I'm going to have a hard time getting them. If they're public, then why would I have a hard time getting them? Because confidentiality is required by law, because he provided information. An overriding interest supports sealing. The overriding interest overcomes public access. A substantial probability of harm exists absent sealing. Sealing is narrowly tailored. No less restrictive means exist. And if any element is missing, the sealing order is legally defective. 3, argument. Jones federal task force statements are not properly sealed under California law. The statements at FBI headquarters and defense counsel's office were made to federal joint agency investigators, and courts regularly hold that law enforcement statements and investigative records are not sealed absent specific statutory restriction or articulated harm. So for them to be sealed, there has to be some kind of articulated harm. Like the part where he says he fears that if they find out he made those statements and gave that information, he feared for his family. He lived by Stutterby. They were neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So no such findings appear on record. 2, B, the Texas dismissal hearing transcript is a judicial record subject to mandatory public access. A dismissal in the interest of justice is a judicial act of public significance. Transcripts of such proceedings may be sealed only with explicit findings under the NBC subsidiary framework. If the Texas court sealed the hearing, the originating sealing order must be reviewed, and this court retains power to unseal materials in the possession of California authorities or to order production. C, no overriding interest justifies continued sealing. Generalized concerns such as safety, cooperation, or investigation sensitivity are insufficient. The court must conduct a balancing test and require narrowly tailored justification, and none appears to exist. D, less restrictive alternatives exist. If specific names or operational details require protection, redaction, not blanket sealing is appropriate. 4, requested relief. Movement respectfully requests that the court order the unsealing and release of the statements provided by Cash McElroy Jones at FBI headquarters to the Federal Joint Task Force. Order the unsealing and release of the statements provided at his attorney's office to the same task force. Order the full unsealing of all transcripts from the Texas firearm case dismissal hearing. In the interest of justice, dismissal. If necessary, order an in-camera review and release all portions not properly subject to sealing. Issue any further relief the court deems proper. Declaration of name, Lamonte Sims. All right. I am the movement in this matter. I seek access to sealed materials relating to Cash McElroy Jones for purpose of investigative journalism, legal research, public reporting, and an ongoing civil litigation against Wack 100 based on a documentary that I released entitled Wack 100 and the Alleged Snitch Allegations, which was placed and put on World Star Hip Hop. On this date, I request copies of the above identified records and was informed they were sealed or otherwise unavailable. To date, I have not been provided any sealing order that complies with California Rules of Court 2.550. These matters are of significant public interest due to their relation to federal law enforcement activity and interstate criminal justice proceedings. I declare under penalty of perjury under California law that the above is true, executed on this date and city. So Wack 100, the proposed order is right here. I sent this to Reggie Wright Jr. so that he could I sent this to Reggie Wright Jr. so that he could get Wack 100. We all want to get to the truth of the matter, don't we? Don't we have all want to get to the truth of that? But see, this is the cold part, right? Let's hear what the good peoples is saying. Hey, dudes, if CS was a low level for Main Street and they put all the other Main Street's real name and aliases on paperwork, why would they change his name? Right. Rock my baby 12. All Wack needs a tracking advice on him. How much time he go to the cops of feds? Right. Rock my baby. Salute. We stand on it. Shout out. Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Salute Michael Brown. Bless his king. The good people is in the chat. So listen, bro. What? You could just man up. Because we know you told on Poochie. You know what I'm saying? So there's an argument. And the crazy thing, I'm one of the ones that think if he told on Poochie and Poochie was already dead, I'm not going to label him a snitch just for that, bro. I know other people feel different. If I die, Panda Man, if me and you together and you knock a nigga down, Lord forbid, right? Lord forbid, we go to the club and our family there, whatever, and some niggas disrespect us, we get to fighting, and you seen the nigga up in the burner on me and you knocked him down, right? And Lord forbid, you get away with it, and 10 years from now, I'm no longer here, and a cold case come up and the police arrest, I give you permission. Please tell them it was me that knocked them down so that you could be with your family, brother. Ain't no use of you locking down trying to play tough to these other niggas when you got responsibility, families, and you saved my life. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, homie, I ride with you, and we gonna talk offline, bro. And that really means a lot. Hey, bro, we gonna talk offline because my respect and my love for you, I want to explain where I'm coming from. But like, I don't know scandals, but like, I fuck with that boy. Like, he is something about him that I can't really explain the same way I fuck with you, Deuce. My nigga, for you to say that to me, that means a lot to me, bro. I got your back forever,
that's
huh?
for anybody. I was just using that one as a hypothetical, right? And that's anybody that I fuck with. You know what I'm saying? That's just the type of nigga that I am, bro. I don't look at that as snitching if I'm gone and this could help you beat the system. See, I come from a long line. My mama ran the big house, the biggest bookie joint in South Central Los Angeles, black owned. This is what niggas don't know. Hustling is in my bones. My daddy is the oldest Fruittown Brim member alive. So we grew up trying to beat the system. So in this situation, I can't go to jail. I'm dead. Right? You got family. He got family, loved ones. And if that could get you off, I don't believe that's snitching. So CS2 back telling on Poochie isn't snitching to me. Now, other people might still say, yeah, he's snitching. Now, him implicating Suge Knight as the one that paid Poochie to knock down Biggie is snitching if he went that far with it. So, Wack, this is an opportunity to bring it out, clear your name. You told on Poochie. I can't say you a rat no more. Now, if you could prove that you not CS2 back, we know CS2 back was a rat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he said he went to the federal office with his attorney. All right, we're going to get to that right now, brother. I got you, T-Mac. So we gonna give you opportunity where you can sign it. We're both agreeing. It's like a release. See, I remember when the only thing I ever got from Wack 100 when he was trying to recruit me, he was trying to woo me and win me over. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I ever got from him, I introduced Yael to him. Yael wanted a release from the Coyotes for Hires, who were managed by Wack 100 at the time. And so I introduced Yael to Wack. Wack said for him to send me his information. And once he sent me the information, I sent the information to Kim Jones, who got the release for the publishing company and all of this stuff for Yael to be able to release the song, Sections. You know what I'm saying? Featuring Joe Moses and Coyote for Hire. So that was the only thing I ever got from him. But just the same way he gave Yael that release for Sections, you could give us a release legally for your statements. You know what I'm saying? Since you saying you not CS2 back, since you saying you was gonna sue Money Mark Stevens, then by gosh, I would think it would be in your interest, just like it's in our interest, to go ahead and release your statements. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get to this video. Now that we done did that, I'm gonna get back to this video and I'm gonna go find Greg Caden and what Greg Caden said when I contacted him trying to get a copy of Wack 100 statement. And then we'll be playing that thing that you asked for, T-Mac. Do you know the attorney name that went to the federal office with him? The same office that was once Death Row headquarters on Wilshire? No, that's not the same building, bro. It's a whole different building you talking about. That's not the Death Row building on Wilshire. That was really the federal building. I'm gonna go get this for y'all real quick though.
Along the way,
From Greg Caden.
attempted murders, you know, like all my whole record was violence.
In there, you just really don't understand how that inner city.
We don't fuck with. Listen, dog. Listen, the only police we fuck with is the crooked police. There's Power Rules and Crips, as gang members that niggas don't know they gang members. We fuck with them police. Them the homies. Yeah. They do everything we need them to do. And it's a lot of them out here. You know, they'll pull a nigga over and take it where we need to take them. Them the police we fuck with. So we fuck with police.
We fuck.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Porky has really outdone himself this time. Reggie Wright and John over at Bomb First tried to help him, but somehow he still managed to throw himself under the bus. Just like every other time, we've caught Porky in another lie, and this time, it's serious. Today, we're about to prove that he really did go to jail. He really was picked up and brought in for questioning. Now, if you know Porky like we do, then you already know. He lies so much. We can't just focus on just this one. Before we even get into the jail story, we have to touch on some of the other lies he's told recently. I won't take too long on it, but let's go back to that story he told about being CK Wack and how that persona supposedly came to life in Soledad.
And I went to reception, and they put me in cell with a G homie named Baby Wayne from Villagetown Power Room. And I think at that point is when my penitentiary training started. You know, because he had.
I think Baby Wayne from Villagetown Paru. Look how he's looking down and thinking about it. I think that's who introduced him and created the three finger back. You know what I'm saying? Persona. This nigga was a knockout artist who was a G homie beating up this 18-year-old kid with a loud mouth, right? Beating him up and wrestling with him. My nigga, in prison, we don't do no horse playing, bro. Nigga, don't be sizing me up playing with me in the cell. But the homies might have DP'd the nigga if he would have came out like, blood, this nigga keep trying to throw his weight around on me and in wrestling, blood, what you do? I mean, blood, I couldn't do nothing. Man, this nigga funky rolling you and shit. Hey, this nigga CS2 back got up to the pen and had this nigga G Wayne funky rolling them, talking about they wrestling. Imagine a nigga on a level 4 yard wrestling with another nigga. Ain't that a bitch? Nigga, I'll put this knife in your motherfucking neck when you sleep if you play with me like that, nigga. What the fuck? Nigga, you know this nigga wasn't on this shit. Nigga, G-Homie know, nigga militant-minded, nigga. Nigga don't do no horseplay. What kind of example was Blood showing you? Nigga, he wasn't trying to show you nothing. That nigga was trying to funky roll.
Been to prison 2-3 times.
Nasty work, man.
This Black Friday, join
My
over
bad.
500,000 drivers who made the switch.
With the
Pedal Commander, you can
conversation.
The good thing about Baby Wayne was a knockout artist. And when you were a young Paru in the cell with a G-Homie, you're going to fight at least 3-4 times a week just because.
3-4 times a week. Hold on.
Got me stronger.
CS2 back aside. We going to get back to that. Yo, G-Homie in the cell with you is making you fight him 3 or 4 times a week. And he wrestling and funky rolling you. Oh, man.
You be with that bullshit. I be trying to be serious. Bro, but you was a fucking... Hey, man, bro.
Hey, bro, that should be the title, bro. We gonna do a video, Wack 100, Funky Roll by G Wayne on Paru. Nigga, imagine that, bro.
Hey, listen.
Go ahead.
I'm not from that coast, so I be trying to just really watch what I laugh at, because my respect and my love for y'all, bro. Like, a lot of that shit you say, my nigga, that shit be so motherfucking funny. And I know I get it. I know I understand this shit, but I never want to disrespect you, homie. Never want to disrespect you, my nigga. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, no. This is hilarious because, bro, if me and one of the young homies in the cell, and 4 times out of the week I'm making him fighting, first and foremost, the Brim card is gonna have an issue with this nigga getting down with a little homie. You know what I'm saying? So the Pyrus would have had an issue with G Wayne being for Village Town Pyru. Why is you and the Valley Pyrus, the Pacoima Pyrus on the yard would have had an issue like, Blair, why is you getting down with my homie? This nigga's a kid. He 18 years old. Nigga, was you trying to take advantage of the homie, blood? Nigga, push this knife up in you. Ain't none of that bullying going on. So the fact that it happened not once, but 4 times a week lead me to believe this wasn't no fight. It was foreplay, nigga. The freaky Pyrus prison foreplay, nigga. This nigga getting funky rolled as the foreplay, nigga. This nigga, he was too embarrassed to tell the homies on the yard, man. Let me get back to the car.
And he made me squabble him every day, almost. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad. So by the time I left there, I hit Soledad.
About that.
And Soledad was really, that was the birth. That was the birth of CK Wack. That was the birth of CK Wack. When I hit that yard. CK stands for Crip Killer. Okay. See, I was Lil Wack. From there, I went to CK Wack.
According to Porky, he left Delano State Prison and was transferred to Soledad. And that's where the name CK Wack was born. The only problem with that is that in a separate interview from 8 years ago, Porky said he went straight to Soledad when he first hit the penitentiary at 16 years old.
Where the trucking business came from, you know, I went to the pen, Simon. As you know, I was the first juvenile to actually go to California State Penitentiary at 16. Now youth authority, I already ran through that. So at 16, I'm in Soledad. So at 16, I'm in Soledad. So at 16, I'm in Soledad State Penitentiary. So from 16 to 22, so from 16 to 22, so from 16 to 22, 22, 22, I run through like 7 different prisons.
You're 19 years old when you get out?
Yeah, I'm like 19. I do probably like 2.5, 3 years of a solitary confinement time. You know, I do probably like 2.5, 3 years of a solitary confinement time. You know,
Porky just claimed he was the first minor in the California prison system, being sent to Soledad at just 16 years old. But now, listen to this old interview with Vlad. In this one, Porky clearly says he went to Delano at 16, and that Delano was his first prison. So, which one is it? Soledad or Delano?
the prison bus came to Central Juvenile Hall, pulled into Central Juvenile Hall when they left LA County Jail and picked me up from Central Juvenile Hall and took me straight to Delano State Penitentiary.
Now, you see right here, look, let me show you. The first one, it was admitted offender with new AOJ. That's adult offender juvenile. Okay?
So that's this is your first entrance into the system.
That's your first entrance into the system. He went to North Kern State Prison, NKSP. Now, you can see he likes to play games. So you got to understand, North Kern State Prison is Delano.
With Loop earplugs, you can
Down
enjoy
on
any event
Keyway
without feeling
conversation. We
overwhelmed
got that Greg Caton shit coming up, and then we gonna break it down.
That's old Delano. They have a new Delano, which is a level 4. Okay.
The prison bus came to Central Juvenile Hall, pulled into Central Juvenile Hall when they left LA County Jail and picked me up from Central Juvenile Hall and took me straight to Delano State Penitentiary.
He'll try to say, I went to Delano to make you think he's been at a higher level than he been. He was at reception, right? Then the next prison he went to was SATF, Substance Abuse Treatment Facility, which is the level 2. Okay? That's where he paroled from.
I thought Porky said he was 16 years old at Soledad. I thought he said he went to Soledad after he left Delano.
Right.
See all the lies you have to sift through when dealing with this guy?
He didn't go to 9 prisons like he alleges, okay? He got paroled. If you see, he got to prison on 131.95. He paroled 4-1.
This is how these rats that's online and that's out here on the streets is. They give you these fake personas and blend in as if they was some real niggas. And once they convince you of that, they got you. So here he got to 131/1995, right? He was admitted as a juvenile offender, a new AOJ, right? Admitted offender juvenile. January 31st. So he gets to Old Delano, which is reception, on January 31st, and they put him in the hole by itself. It's going to be administrative segregation because they can't put a juvenile on the yard, someone under 18 on a prison yard with men. If something happened to him, it'll be the biggest lawsuit in the world. So they bring him to to Old Delano to reception, put him in the hole by himself, right? So he can't have cigarettes. Back then, they still had tobacco and all that, right? He can't buy cigarettes, none of that shit. And he stays there until his 18th birthday. His 18th birthday would be April 1st, 1998. Right? No. His birthday, so in 1995, he born in 77. He would have turned 18 in April 1995. So then they put him on he ended up going to SADF, Substance Abuse and Treatment Facility, Corcoran, right? So he goes to a 2-yard. He paroles April 1st, 1998, right? Then he comes back, returned from parole, re-entry 3, which means a violation. This is June 2nd, 1998. He only does about 30 plus. He does almost 60 days on his violation. Then he's re-entry 3. He's returned to parole. So he gets out after doing a little punk ass violation, right? He probably stayed in the county, right? Then it's 12/28/1998. He was out July, August, September, October, November, December, about 6 months. And then he's violated again, right? He gets another parole violation. He's returned from parole, where he go to Chucky's house, Chuckawalla, right? I think that's CVSP. And he's returned. Let me know in the chat, is CVSP Chucky's house, right? So he returned to parole 9/21/1999. So they let him out. He did 9 months, about 9 months, 8 months, almost 9 months on that violation. And he paroles from CVSP. And then he's returned to parole. And then 2/25/2002, he's discharged from his sentence. The sentence was PC 247. That's assault with a firearm, aka the BB gun bandit. This nigga told us a whole nother story. You think this nigga was the reincarnation of Al Capone, nigga? This nigga done called shots on the 4-yard. Nigga start knife. This nigga's a war veteran, nigga. Level 4 type nigga, 180 shoe programs. He said he was doing shoe terms, you know what I'm saying? And 23 and 1s. Nigga, this nigga claiming he done walked in my chucks. This ass nigga ain't built like that. But that's what these niggas do. Once they convince you that they that, you put your guard down thinking that they that. All along, the nigga lining you up.
98. He got paroled. If you see, he got to prison on 131/95. He paroled 4/1/98. Okay? 95 to 98 is 3 years. I don't give a fuck what kind of arithmetic you try to use with it.
Porky got to Delano in 1995 when he was 18 years old. He paroled in 1998 at 21. That timeline makes one thing crystal clear. It was impossible for him to be at Soledad at 16. If Porky never went to Soledad, then there was never a birth of CK Wack. The whole story was built on a lie. Just another chapter in Porky's book of fiction.
Okay? But this is the kind of fraudulent dude that is out here on this internet trying to, you know what I'm saying, pretend to be somebody and something that he's not. You see what I'm saying? Go to the next one. It say return from parole, re-entry 3, which means the county jail. He never went back to the prison. You see what I'm saying? He was in the county jail from 6/2 to 7/25 of 98. Okay? He returned to parole. Then 3 days after Christmas in 1998, same year, he got another violation, returned from parole, re-entry 3. He went to the county jail. You see what I'm saying?
Damu Keyway, conversation. Bang that like button, man. If y'all too many people been up in here for y'all not to be banging that like button. Y'all getting the content I'm cooking tonight. You know what I'm saying? Fresh
return to parole.
Vacation.
Then he discharged on 2/25/2002 from Region 3. Discharged from sentence. Okay? All that talk about he was in there for all this shooting and attempted murders and all of this shit. This motherfucker got one charge of 245 PC A2, okay? Which is assault with a firearm, okay?
So as you just saw, Porky never set foot in Soledad. So all that talk about Soledad was just another lie. There was never a birth of CK Wack. That entire story was completely fabricated. Then there's the claim about spending 2 to 3 years in solitary confinement. Lie. Being the first minor in the California prison system. Lie. Being 16 years old at Soledad. Lie. That's 5 lies in one story. Back to back. But this is what Porky does. Now let me show you guys how Porky fell on his own sword. You won't find this next clip on YouTube anymore, because Porky had Cheeseburger Chuck take it down.
Hey, Big Chuck, we just want to talk about when he gonna bring the audio from being talking to them people. We want to know what he said. We can clear all this up.
Who's that, Chuck?
That's Deuce.
Yo, why is PCK always talking to me? We in the streets. We ain't got nothing to talk about. Every time he does this, it's a PC move.
Always notice how Porky reacts when Deuce questions him. He can't stand it. He cuts him off, yells over him, or accuses him of PCing for talking to him on a social platform. But when it comes to DZ from SBGB-TV, it's a whole different story. Porky gives him content and plays along.
Oh, what's up, homie?
Okay, yeah, as long as it's Wack on here, because if it's somebody else, we're not doing that.
Hey, listen, we're not doing that.
Listen to me. Hey, listen to me. This real shit, right? We always know what we're doing, right? We always know what we're doing. And believe it or not, right? We are the most supported people of our people on the internet, right? It's a lot we can do. Remember, I'm an industry guy. I'm tired in the labels. I'm tired in the YouTube, right? So what I'm telling you, brother, is like, I called in to you intentionally because I saw you was building. I didn't have to do that. People pay me to do that. I did it. I see some. Let me call in and give them the content. We always know what we're doing. And I'm saying that to say this. At some point, bro, you run your content, but you gotta have some type of reserve when you're running it. Because remember, it's our content. You get what I'm saying? And then, okay, so doing these type of things, right? There's certain things that, especially when it comes to me as a public figure, right? I own me. You right? I haven't given you a verbal or signed anything, right? So what I'm saying is, as a brother, when I'm talking as a brother, fuck to people. When a brother is calling in to help you, because I'm giving you notice the content I gave you, you've been able to chop that shit up and run with it for about a month now, a couple weeks. Really?
A month.
Right? At least, right? But it gotta come to some point, bro, to where it's just not like an attack thing. Because then at that point in time, listen to me, you as a brother, I'm a businessman. Right? At that point in
Seen
time,
the victim in him.
just from friend to foe. I called in as a friend. No matter what our back and forth was, I chose to stay on the phone. I know, I've been doing this social media shit forever. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name, because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them, it helps still. You get what I'm saying? I know that. I know what I'm doing. If I don't fuck with you, I'll never say a word to you. I won't even utter your name. If you see a lot of people, I ignore them. I won't say their name, because the minute I say something to them, I have a conversation with them, it helps still. You get what I'm saying? I know that. So I'm telling you, brother to brother, run your content, especially we gave you content.
Listen, me and you have nothing to talk about. It's established. Chuck, this is what you call a PC move. Bro, stop talking. Why you keep warning the people? Leave our shit in the street.
Skechers has the
Funky
perfect
Roll
holiday gift for everyone.
4
It's free cozy fit Skechers slip-ins. It's a hands-free
That
holiday with
nigga
Skechers
said, Juvie, Funky Roll 4play is crazy, nigga.
Listen, every time you do this,
You saying fuck your neighborhood because you on some PC shit. It's in the street, bro. Leave it where it's at. Me and you don't talk like this. We leave it in the street, in the darkness. Why this everywhere?
You're not in the street, bro. You're not in the street. Stop it.
Dulo.
You ain't in the power rules. You ain't in Gonzalez. You don't hang in the parts in the garages. Remember? Weird ass niggas. Stop faking. Yeah, stop faking.
You making Food Town Brim look bad right now.
I'm one of the greatest things that ever came from the 30s, bro.
Food Town Brims, y'all know when it's street business and it's up to the disrespect level of me and him, he ain't supposed to do this shit. It's a PC move. I'm gonna mute up, Chuck. When he done doing the PC shit, I'll holler at you. I'll stay here till when he done.
Well, I didn't say nothing about me and you. I asked you about the statement that you made.
Is that Lou from the Lou?
Waive your Miranda rights. That means that there's a statement in audio. You need to go get that and prove you ain't CS2 back. That got nothing to do with me and you. That's you trying to clear your name. Don't bring the police. The police can't vouch to say that you not working with the police.
You got Food Town Brim looking bad right now, bro. We in the streets. You got, bro, stop PCing. Don't talk to me on no open platform. You got Food Town Brim looking bad. It's real gangsters over there. Why you doing PC ass shit? I'm gonna mute up again, bro.
What's that got to do with your paperwork? Bring the paperwork and the statement that you made to the task force and the FBI on the Main Street case and the Tupac and Biggie murder and clear your name. You say that the truth can never be considered disrespectful.
Hey, Chuck, you know what would be funny, right? This would be funny. I'm talking
to D.
It's when people say dumbass shit, it makes them look dumb. Chuck, I was in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999. When was Tupac and Biggie killed, Chuck?
96, right? 96.
96, 97, right? Yeah. I'll mute up. But I gave a statement on him. I'll mute up.
Let's make sure Wack knows that he ain't fooling nobody. Hey, Wack, the Tupac and Biggie murder are still unsolved. That means it's still being investigated right now. We can show plenty of people who were in jail during the time of the murders, who gave statements about the murder. You ever heard of a jailhouse informant? You ever heard about Kenneth Bo Agnew? What about Waymond Anderson? Marion Knight and Stutterbox were both suspects in the murder.
I don't know.
And you were around both of them during the time investigations were taking place. So you could have very easily been giving the police information you obtained while being around them.
I say you gave a statement to the task force that was investigating that. Greg Cadence, and then the other officer that said you was arrested.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Chuck, if I'm in the penitentiary from 1993 to 1999, what the fuck could I give a statement on, Chuck?
Listen, bro, you admitted that Greg Cadence, that you went to the
64.
Chuckawalla.
But
you are saying
though,
some of the dumbest shit.
Fucking with Death Row though, like in
2001. 2001.
Yeah, he was telling Enron.
2001. Okay. This guy, he don't know because he wasn't around. Stop making the Brims look bad, bro. Leave our shit in the street. It's
6
already
years
up.
in solitary.
Chill out. Leave it in Madison, Wisconsin. You in Madison, Wisconsin. Stop talking to me, bro. Why are you talking to me when it's on? You're doing a PC move.
Yeah, we knew we were close to missing.
What I'm talking about is your paperwork. Stop spinning. Stop deflecting. When is you going to bring
you to provide the paperwork?
From the 60s.
I don't have no paperwork. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing. I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, question nothing.
Did y'all just hear him say, I don't have paperwork. I was never arrested, lie, questioned, or nothing. He said he was never questioned. Hey, there's only one more thing we need from this video, and then we finna cook.
Wack just claimed he has no paperwork because he was never arrested or even questioned. But you guys heard it straight from former Los Angeles Sheriff Michael Cowett. The only person who got arrested was Porky. Reggie and John deleted the clip, so don't bother looking for it on YouTube. Porky swore up and down that he was never brought in for questioning. Remember that.
It's so you to provide the paperwork. PK Wack, Lil Wack, Wack 100,
or the Wack boy, or the Wack
put that
boy,
on Fruit Town Brim.
or the Wack boy.
Put that on Fruit Town Brim. Put that on Fruit Town Brim. I told.
On Fruit Town
Put that on Fruit Town Brim.
back. On
your dead homie.
You CS2 back, aka the
I'm gonna go get to work.
All right, guys.
Now I'm gonna go
now
get
that we've
to work.
heard all that, and we've heard Porky himself.
That's all we needed. He said he was never questioned, right? He said there is no paperwork. He was never questioned, right? And then just for y'all, so y'all know, if Wack don't sign the motion to unseal, 39% said, I know he's CS2 back. 7% say he started working in Wheeler, Texas. If he don't sign the motion to unseal, he's finally exposed, 6%. And then 49%, almost half of y'all said, if he don't sign, it's all of the above. That's a fact. So let's get to this real quick. He says, he said he was never questioned. Oh, this is the nastiest word ever right here. See, when you get, you gotta line this nigga chin up like, put that, and just knock blood out. The nigga he talks so much. But see, I get him off balance. You know what I'm saying? I'm that nigga kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? So let's blow this up real quick. Can y'all see? Can y'all see what that is? That's from Detective Greg Caton, the same cop that he brought to the thing, who admits that that's Wack on that wiretap, who admits that the paperwork says CS2 back. So I get in his inbox on Facebook Messenger, and I say, I'm trying to locate the investigative report on your interview of Cash Jones and the audio or video recording thereof. How can I obtain that? I don't think it would be available, Lamonte. I said, well, I don't think they would destroy evidence of an ongoing investigation. He waived his Miranda rights, so there has to be documentation of that. And any statement pertaining to the investigation, pertinent or non-pertinent, would not be destroyed. That's what I put inside that that motion to unseal. So Greg Caton says, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying it would be hard to get your hands on it. I said, as a citizen, don't I have right to access such public records? Not necessarily. I said the only way that we the people wouldn't have a right to access public records is if those records contain confidential information. Even then, I should be able to get a redacted version. He said, or if it's related to an open homicide case. Do y'all get that? I contacted this detective that Wack admits that he talked to on the 60th floor. This detective who admits that he talked to Wack 100 at Wack 100's defense counsel's office. So this dude that done talked to Wack twice is the same detective that Wack 100 brought to Clubhouse to validate to the streets that he's not working and informing to this detective. Make it make sense. And I asked him about the statement that Wack admits that he gave, that he's not denying that he gave. And he said, I wouldn't be able to get it if it's related to an open homicide case. The open homicide case is the same open homicide case that the Joint Task Force was investigating. And that's the unaliving of Christopher Wallace. This goes back directly to what we watched in the other video where Stutterbox said he had to give him something clean. So we gave him Poochie. Poochie killed Biggie. Wack 100 doesn't want to give us this statement and doesn't want to go on the Main Street shit, but that wasn't enough to get him out. So that's like small shit, right? Because he gave up marrying Suge Knight in the unaliving of the notorious B.I.G. Let's get back to the content. So I said, I understand that. That in itself indicates enough about the contents of Cash's statements therein. Then he says, Jones didn't provide any pertinent info as far as we were concerned. So he said he didn't give us nothing that was pertinent for us to use in our investigation. First, I don't believe you. Second of all, nigga, what's pertinent to your investigation and what's pertinent to the streets determining whether or not he's an informant is two different things. You understand what I'm saying? I said Tupac is very loved religiously. So what happened or is alleged to have happened should be available to his family and followers. He says, subjectivity aside, it is not the practice nor purpose of law enforcement to involve itself in public affairs that are of non-criminal matter. If Cash has something to say about Pop that is criminally non-pertinent, you can simply reach out to him and request an interview. He can make his own choice. So I just hit the thumbs up because I see he was shutting down. Then he says, to help you further, I believe Jones was in CYA at the time both Pac and Big were shot. You can probably verify that. Therefore, if he was incarcerated, any thoughts he had about the murders would be mere opinion or hearsay. I said, thank you for your help or assistance. Scanless already broke that down. They got jailhouse snitches everywhere. All you got to do is turn on rap news and street politics. They stay hitting niggas with these jailhouse snitches, getting niggas to confess to crimes and murders and hearsay, right? I said, as far as your task force for Tupac Biggie murders, but I specifically questioned the Main Street case, the kidnapping of Stutterbox. He said, yeah, that's an interesting story. I said, he waived his Miranda rights and spoke with you in relation to the Tupac Biggie murder investigation. I said, you admitted that you didn't know what was going on with the Stutterbox and Main Street case at the time you spoke with Cash Jones. It wasn't until later that you got involved with that case. He said, I was there before it started, which is inconsistent with his statement when he first came to Clubhouse. So I sent him the link. I don't know if the link's still up. Wack 100 and them and the police been scrubbing the internet. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, it's not. It's the clip can be unavailable if it was deleted. They scrubbed the internet, bro. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. So that clip ain't even available. But I sent him a clip, and you see it says Greg Caden says he doesn't know what Back has going on with the Main Street case. Greg became involved later. I said, then why did you say you didn't know what was going on with Stutterbox in the Main Street case? I said, so you were adjoined to the Fed case before it started? So Detective Greg Caden then sends me, wow, bro, I just paid attention to something. You can see his finger, a white finger. And this is his calendar. January 10th, Thursday, 2008. Work at 0600 hours, 9 a.m. to 12 o'clock. Detective Bureau briefing with Chief Brennan. Met with C. Metro Romance and Mark Arenas. Reed, Del Dog, and bringing case to the feds, right? EOW 2000 Rampart. But I just seen something that I never seen before. There's a picture up here. So when he went and got this, he had to go in these files. This is the work behind this, bro. For him to grab this, that picture that's back there, that paperwork that's back there, the binder, I hope y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see it a little bit at the upper top. All of that shit is the case. He had to pull it up out of there, right? But anyway, let's get back to the content, right? So let's go back to Greg Caden. Damn, what happened? I said, so he sent that, and he said, the investigators on the Main Street Crip case asked me to help federalize their case. I opened up the case as a federal case 2 weeks later. The case name was The Main Attraction, January 2008. So he helped federalize the Main Street Crip case. Let it be known, where Wack 100 was talking to Reggie Wright on the earlier video, he said that the Main Street case was only a state case. The kidnapping of Stutterbox was only being tried as a state case. But the investigation into Deja 34, the Main Street Mafia Crips, extortion, home invasion, and all of these other crimes were being investigated as a federal investigation. Wack 100 was lying to y'all so that y'all wouldn't know that he had been and met with the federal authorities, because most people got common sense, or whoever dealt with the feds know that when the feds come, it's because they got you. The main attraction. So then I say, oh, okay, that makes sense, because Cash Jones admitted that he went to the 64th floor on Wilshire to speak with you guys and saw everyone in FBI flak jackets. So Cash Jones did speak with the investigators in the Main Street Mafia Crip case. So when you said, as the lead investigator for the Tupac Biggie murder investigation, Cash had nothing pertinent to add, that didn't include any information that he may or may not have provided pertaining to the Main Street Crip investigation. Then they said he didn't have anything to say about anything. So now he's getting very cold. He's shutting it down. Remember earlier he said he didn't provide nothing pertinent to our investigation, but he didn't say that he didn't have nothing to say, period, right? That position has changed. I'm digging too deep. I said, then why is Mark Stevens saying that Cash called him several times trying to get in contact with Del Dog, but Del Dog was cool on that brother? In the transcribed wiretap on the Main Street case, that matches up to CS2 back calling Mark Stevens. In the wiretap, Mark Stevens even refers to not helping the Wack boy in a long time, while telling Del Dog that he had just called several times saying Box went sour and the phones are compromised. Then I sent the transcribed wiretap right here. This is the conversation I'm having with the detective because I'm hot on his ass and he's shutting down. This is the CS2 back at the top. CS2 back, and then the Wack boy, right? So let me bring this down. So then I sent him the documentary from World Star, part 1, 2, and 3. I said, you did your movie with the Hollywood effects. I did a 3-part documentary investigating the real truth, questioning 2 players directly involved. He said, I'm telling you, Cash Jones was not an informant, period. You could choose to believe or you could choose not to. I don't know what else to tell you. I said, I bet. Thank you for your information. So then I sent them the content. Then I sent them the 137. He said, Jesus, Carson is such a fucking moron. All Reggie needs to do is post the 137 paperwork, which I have on numerous sources. Right? I said, I'm sure you have. But you were only privy to 137 paperwork for cases you had access to. He's essentially saying that you weren't clear for access to all FBI files, only selective access, need to know basis. Okay, what's the point though? The only case that matters is the one we are talking about, right? Correct. What date did you raid Cash Jones' house? What date did Cash Jones meet you with counsel and spoke with you? I'll look. It might be a few days. I give him a thumbs up. I say you never got back with the date Cash House was raided, nor the date when you spoke with him. If you got to hide that information, I understand. No reason to hide anything, nothing to hide. I just forgot. This nigga said, no reason to hide anything, nothing to hide. I just forgot. Nasty work, right? I said, okay, how soon can you get it to me? He said, what's it for? My documentary. Search warrant. Friday, April 25th, 2008. Meeting with Cash Jones and attorney. Sunday, April 27th, 2008. So Wack 100 was arrested on a Friday. I mean, the search warrant was served on a Friday, right? They raid his house. They raid his truck, pull his diesel over. They search his truck. Alonzo, Zoe Scott, right? Then 2 days later, on a Sunday, going up to the 60th floor on a Sunday. FBI office nationally are closed on Sundays. The FBI headquarters is closed on a Sunday. But his meeting with Cash Jones 2 days after they raided Cash Jones' house was on a Sunday. FBI headquarters, right? And so we finna get to cooking now because this is almost over. It's been 2 hours, and I'm giving it to y'all, man, but I don't want to give y'all too much. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to what was being said when he got up there to this 60th floor, even though it's only 17th floor. That nigga's heart was in his stomach. Nigga, that nigga was scared as a motherfucker. It felt like it was going up 60th floor. So let's go.
Second thing they had against me.
Oh, that's the second
press
thing.
Play.
Let's go to the first.
Wiretap. This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy, how they get you.
No, we finna back this up like
They got me on the
Juvenile.
phone.
Hold on.
Yeah. Office. They would see a picture of me, him, Suge, the truck, and they pulled the nigga over, and all he had was magazines in the back.
Yeah.
Uncle Jerome is Stutterbox, and the nigga in the truck is Wack. That really happened.
Man.
It's a book, actually, nigga. Look, I PTR. It's a book called Murder Rap by Greg Cadence. You can go to the chapter called Stutterbox. You're gonna see a picture of me, him, Suge, the police that all these snitches work for. When he retired, he exposed them all. Keefe D from Compton, Crip. He exposed all his informants. So that's the picture in the book in my PTR. That's that one. That's that my brother. Me, Suge, and that Stutterbox to the left. Right?
Yeah.
So if you go to the chapter called Stutterbox,
they gonna break down everything he did. And like, yeah, out of nowhere, he came in, gave us this man's name, told us he had a trucking company. If you want to get the sugar, you got to go through him. He moving cocaine and dope from here to there. They spend 300,000-400,000 nigga with wires, tracking devices, all kind of shit. They came into my crib.
You chilling with the answer?
I lost a dog that day. My dog Wacko, one of my bulls. When they hit the back gate, he locked on the nigga. They had to shoot the nigga like 7-8 times.
Man.
Kill him. He came in, cuffed my wife. It was like 40 agents, my nigga. And couldn't find shit. Had to walk up out of here. He sent them. He had them on me. They thought they was gonna find something in the house. He didn't find nothing. I still didn't know what time it was. Let me tell you what I knew what time it was. So when they come in, they hit my home office. They was searching about 18 minutes. When they got to the home office, dude called the search off. Because one of the reasons why they went in front of the judge, they filed some shit called living beyond my means, which
living beyond his means. This is crazy, bro. That's not a charge, bro. That's not a charge. Now, you could get living beyond your means as a violation. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Which kind of supported their probable cause, along with their confidential informant that they paying. He's a reliable source. So they watching the lifestyle. So when he come into the crib and he hit the home office, he sees, well, actually, let me rewind. On paper, Cash Jones make 30,000-40,000 a year. That's it. As a Social Security number, I don't make no money. So they looking at everything and they like, this don't add up. But what they failed to do was run everything. So when they hit that home office and they seen all these different corporations and they seen these cars under this corporation, these houses under this corporation, this under this, he then knew everything was justified on my side, right? Because like even today, I haven't had a personal bank account 15, 16 years. Everything I do is up under a corp. I don't give a when I get gas, it's up under a corp. Whatever I do is
La 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 la
up under a
Monte.
corporation. So they take my files, uncuff my wife. They take her. She had 2 guns, legal guns in her.
Remember that he said they took his files from his office. So they're looking at paperwork. More than likely, paperwork of the cars that he was transporting from the border to the Pacific Northwest, because he was allegedly transporting cars that were tagged with Tanisha Swan. So pay attention to that too. But they also said that he talked to the Creole bitch about the 5 keys, and that I think they got him on wiretap for that. There's a whole lot going on. And then the guns. He just said a couple guns that was in his wife's name. But if you listen to Detective Greg Caden, when he went on Clubhouse, he said, well, and we didn't find nothing but a old raggedy gun that was in, I think, your wife's father's name.
Even today, I haven't had a personal bank account 15, 16 years. Everything I do is up under a corp. I don't give a when I get gas, it's up under a corp. Whatever I do is I'm operating up under a corporation.
Okay, Fantasy
so they
Bambi.
take my files, uncuff my wife. They take
Fantasy
her. She had
Bambi got
2
it.
guns, legal guns in her name in the crib. They take those. Call my attorney. We go down to the federal building off of Wilshire and Sepulveda, whatever that shit is down there. Now, this one I knew what time it was. When I go up to the 50th or 60th floor, nigga, we come out the elevator, nigga, ain't nothing but FBI flak jackets walking around this. About 2 months, maybe about a month or 2 prior to this happening at my crib, Stutterbox invited me to this spot called Stevie's on the Strip. Soul food restaurant. So when I get there, it's 2 females there. It's 2 females there, right? Now, most people move a certain way. I'm really an eyeball type of nigga. Wack don't do, I ain't off into. So when I get there, it's him, it's 2 chicks at the table. I sit at the table. What up, Box? What you need me for? Oh man, nigga, just get you out the house, nigga, hang out a little bit. 2 women, 2 of my homegirls, this, that, and other. I said, oh, okay, yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? About 5 minutes, he said, I'm finna go to the bathroom. When he go to the bathroom, the chick start popping. She telling me she from New Orleans. She came out here to meet with this nigga. This bitch ass nigga ain't answering his phone. She come out here every month to buy 5 keys, all this shit, right? So when she talking, I'm looking at the bitch, right? Bitch bad. So when Box come back, I tell him I gotta go to the bathroom. So I make my way to the bathroom. Instead of making the left, I make a hard right to valet. I get on up out of there.
You chilling with the answer?
Right? When I got to the 60th floor, T-Money, guess who I saw the FBI flak jacket? The bitch.
That's crazy.
Right? So I say, damn, that's the same bitch. So by now my antennas go up. Like, damn, I'm saying this nigga Box with a fed and don't even know it. This one, I still ain't know what time it is, right? So we get into the conference room. They got like 7, 8 feds, whoever they little leader is, whatever y'all call him. I'm sitting down, me and my attorney going crazy. We filing a lawsuit, harassment. Y'all embarrassed my client. He lives in a gated community. He can't live there anymore. Homeowners Association is filing complaints against him because you guys came the way you came. His neighbors are frowning upon him. All this shit. We playing for the bag, right? So dude says, well, we still got your client on 2 different situations. He like, is that right? We'll put him on the table. We walking out of here, right? So first situation, he said, well, we found firearms in the house. He's an ex-con convicted felon. He can't be around firearms, right? So I stopped my attorney. I said, well, you ain't found no firearms in my house. He said, yes, we did. These firearms and such and such. I said, well, I ain't never seen them firearms in my life. He said, well, they registered to your wife. I said, well, what they got to do with me? He said, well, that's your wife. I said, okay, well, what they got?
So you get to the FBI headquarters building, you get up to the top. First, you see the bitch. If y'all don't know the bitch that we talking about, in the movie, she was depicted as the one who said Alonzo Zoe Scott. She looked good in the movie. So I can imagine how bad she was looking. Said Louisiana Creole thing, FBI bra. I can imagine how bad that bitch was. That's probably why they got him. So niggas would be like, man, even if I don't sell dope, nigga, like, wait, were you looking for what? Oh man, don't even trip. I know some niggas that know some niggas. We gonna get you right. You got how much money? You know what I'm saying? And the nigga might not even sell no dope. Nigga just trying to give her whatever she need, thinking that he's gonna be in her good graces to bang that back and give her some back shots. You know what I'm saying? And CS2 back freaking blood. Oh man, that nigga, he wasn't finna pass that opportunity. But you see her, she got on the FBI flap jacket. They got your files if you believe that they took the files out of his office. Then they saying that you're an ex-felon because they found multiple guns in the house and you're telling on your wife. You saying they was kids, right? Let's go.
To do with me. He said, well, you live in a home. I said, you can't prove I live in that home. Right? What, you got some cars that's registered to a corporation? Matter of fact, I said, can I go in my back pocket? I pull my wallet out. I slide my wallet. What's this? That's where I live. I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003.
I've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003. So you've been a resident of Oklahoma since 2003. Like, we don't think the feds cross all their T's and dot all their I's, right? But if you check out the lawsuit against Media Lab, it says that Cash Jones is a resident of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So how do you figure that? I mean, you could be a resident of all of them, but that just means you own property in all of them. So that's easier for the feds to say, well, yeah, you do live in Oklahoma and you live here too. Maybe we need to search those Oklahoma houses also, right? Hold on, I'm looking for it because I'm quite sure that I clipped that part where it says that he's a resident of Los Angeles. That's how they get jurisdiction. They have to first establish residence. So if your attorneys are conceding to having Los Angeles residents on this case, how the feds wasn't able to prove that you had residence to have jurisdiction on that gun case? You know what I'm saying? But that's another issue for another time. But that's a damn lie. Let's go.
Which one you gonna put me in various states, right? I said, you see that commercial driver's license? I'm a truck driver, so you putting some guns on me that's in a California residence, but yet I pay Oklahoma state taxes. Help me understand it. Let that go. Second thing they had against me, they press play, wiretap. This is why I know when I hear certain wiretaps was conspiracy. How they
So if they said Greg Caden tried to lie to me and say, well, at the end, well, Wack didn't tell us nothing about nothing, right? But these is all the conversation Wack is saying he's having in a conference room at FBI headquarters. So the question comes now, why is Greg Caden lying for Wack 100? Why is Greg Caden protecting Wack 100? Because they flipped Wack 100 into an asset. Darren Dupree and Wack 100, they seen him. Once they searched him, they got everything. He got up out of there, bailed out or whatever he had to do. And he got with his lawyer, and his lawyer and Reggie probably set up a meeting for him to go talk to the feds. He went to the FBI headquarters 2 days later on a Sunday to this upper conference room where there's no one but FBI flapjackets. And he says there's 7 or 8 FBI agents and their leader being Greg Caden, right? Who was a deputized FBI agent at the time. And he's with his lawyer, and they're in this interrogation room. He said a conference room, but it was an interrogation room. But a conference room is where you converse anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you get up here, and they're telling you, look, this is what we got. They're telling your lawyer, we still got you on these guns. We found in your house, you're an ex-felon. We still got you on this wiretap. And you mean to tell me that you had a trial in FBI headquarters and came out on top from them booking you? That's what you want us to believe?
get you. They got me on the phone. Said, yeah. All right, what you got? Said, we got a special move.
They got him on the phone, and then he argues what he was talking about on the phone call. Oh, I was talking about moving cars. You think the feds missed that bullet? You think they didn't cross all their T's and dot all of their I's before they came and got you for the wiretap? Before they raided for the burner? That defies how the feds move. The feds don't move on impulse. They move when they got you. So your movement up to go talk to them was their opportunity to give you a chance to tell them everything you know and work that case off. They're going to confront you and give you the opportunity to tell them something they want to hear. You don't believe me? We'll let Greg Caden tell you when he first was brought to Clubhouse. Dumbass, rat-ass nigga. This is how you break it down. Watch this. They confront you and give you an opportunity to tell them what they want to hear. Tell them something. Why? Because they got you on the wiretap. because they got you as an ex-felon with a gun, because they got leverage because Kim was in handcuffs, that they going to take Kim to jail. She was a probation officer working in the penitentiary. She could lose her job for aiding and abetting a felon in possession of a firearm. They got all this leverage over you. So when you come up there, you say you don't know what you went for, that you went to go get some files that they took from your house, some paperwork. But we're going to let Greg Caden tell y'all what it was really about.
Yeah, so I remember that day, and you came down there, and we basically just confronted you on the allegations and, explained to you why we were doing what we were doing, giving you the opportunity, with the hopes that you would know something that could help us out.
We confronted you. Wack said they said that he was living beyond his means. Wack said that they said they got him on wiretap. Wack said that they told him he was an ex-felon. This is the confront. This is what he's there for. Nigga, we got you on this. Nigga, we got you on this. Oh, them your wife guns? Yeah, them your wife guns. She's going to go down for him. So what you got for us? Hoping that you told us something. So you went down there to talk.
With the hopes that you would know something that could help us out.
With the thoughts that you would confront you, with the thoughts that you would know something that would help us out.
Turned out you really didn't have any information that was beneficial to what we were pursuing.
So turns out you didn't have no information that was beneficial to what we were pursuing, meaning the Biggie case. That's what he was really pursuing. He's saying Wack didn't tell him nothing about that.
That was it. I said, hey, here's why we're here. Here's how we got here. And this is all there ultimately is to it, unless you have something you want to tell us.
This is where we're at. We got the guns. We got you living beyond your means. We got you on this wiretap talking to this bad bitch about 5 keys. So what you gonna tell us? That's how that works. The same way I told y'all before. But Wack 100 is telling y'all everything else but that. Why are they confronting them unless they got the leverage? And then if you don't believe that he became a source of information or that he was a source of information, I'm going to allow Detective Greg Caden to tell y'all that also. Pay attention. Pay close attention.
And then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones? They have this Back name. I don't know who the fuck Back is. I don't know. I know I've never had that moniker, but I don't know. Maybe it was some coded shit. Or how did you recall referring to me through all the paperwork when you guys were like listening in on my wiretaps? So like saying, okay, this is Wack, this is Cash Jones on the wiretap. What was I referred to in your because I've never looked over that paperwork, never had a need to. What was I referred to?
Well, you would have been identified as referred to most likely as like a target. And like your phone would have been target number, or your license plate would have been target whatever. It would have been, clearly understandable to anybody reading it that. And then in your paperwork, I don't know. How was I referred to? Was I referred to Wack, Cash Jones? They have this Back name. I don't know who the fuck Back is.
Why Greg Caden didn't say, since we added some Back shit, why Greg Caden didn't tell Wack right then and there, Back? There's nothing that refers to you as Back, right? But you can have him here and he's going to say something like or maybe a source of, and he catches himself.
Car, this phone, this person, this has something to do with this car, this phone, this person, we wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred to you as a target or a source of.
We would have referred to you as a target or a source of. Listen.
We wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred to you as a target or a source of, not a source of information because you weren't even that. So, I'm a little vague on it right now because it's been a while, but you would have been we would have referred to you by your name, Cash Jones. We don't usually use monikers under those circumstances, like Wack or Wack 100. It would just been, a target.
Wack 100, I don't think Wack 100 existed yet.
It may not have.
No, he wasn't created.
I don't know.
All right. Well, listen, man. Reggie, I fucking appreciate you. This was
Run that back one more time.
Do all the back
I want to hear y'all. I want y'all to hear him call him a source.
This phone, this person. We wouldn't have referred to you as an informant because you never were. We would have referred to you as a target or a source of, not a source of information because you weren't even that.
He was finna say a source of information. So he said, we would have referred to you as a source of, oh no, not a source of information because you weren't even that. They would have referred to him as confidential source 2 back. That's what they would have referred to him as. Confidential source 2 back. A source of information. But he caught himself. And then he says, I'm kind of vague right now. What do you mean? If he never told you nothing, you would have said we would have referred to you as the target. Nigga, that's it. A source of, and then you said he didn't never say nothing about nothing. Why is Greg Caden protecting him? Look, bro. Let me go ahead and do this. Wack says there is no CS2 back. We already proved that the paperwork says CS2 back. He even later admitted it too. Right? He says that it doesn't say Wack boy in the wiretap. We've already demonstrated and showed y'all he's lying about that. That Mark Stevens on the wiretap said, I ain't helped the Wack boy in a minute. He said that I created fake work and added some back shit to it. That was a lie. Because he later admit that the paperwork says CS2 back. Wack later admits that that's him on the wiretap that Mark Stevens and Del Dog are talking about. And this Del Dog and Mark Stevens are talking about is the Wack boy. Is back. Is CS2. And you're saying and admitting that that's you that they were talking about. Kind of gives us a better understanding of why you were lying about that person being referred to as confidential source number 2. Because you knew that that was you. You knew that Del Dog said he wasn't fucking with you. That Mark Stevens said he ain't looked out for you in a minute. He ain't looked out for. So you wanted the world to believe that that wasn't you. But I exposed your rat ass. The wiretap. Wack says he never had interaction with Detective Michael Coet. But Detective Michael Coet definitely was on that investigation. In fact, you can read the paperwork, and it says Detective Paul Fournier and Detective Michael Coet became the lead investigators once they took over the case from the LAPD Detective Arenas and Quinteros, right? So we're with the federal task force. We're investigating the main streets. We want to take over the lead of the investigation. Paul Fournier and Michael Couette were partners. What do you mean you never had interaction with them? What do you mean you never talked to them? What you mean he never arrested you? Then how would he say in the same investigation that you were the only one arrested? Did he arrest you for attempted extortion of Shaquille O'Neal and Money Mark Stevens? Because Stutterbox admitted that you was the one he sent with the extortion notice to tell Shaq and Mark Stevens that he got the sex tape. And Mark Stevens admitted to the sheriff detective, the same ones you say you never talked to, that he admitted to the sheriff detectives that you were the one that came and told him and Shaq that TMZ would pay a lot for that sex tape. And that's just very consistent and congruent with the pattern that we've seen, whether it was Kim Kardashian, Oscar De La Hoya, The Game, Jayceon Taylor, or anyone else that you allegedly extorted. Well, you admit that you extorted, right? You admit you got 800,000 from De La Hoya, right? So that just seemed, I got the tape. You say you got the Nipsey Hussle tape. That's your leverage. That's what you do. That was a lie. Detective Michael Couette knew exactly who he arrested. He said you were the only one in that investigation that was arrested. So you lied and said he thought it was Cash Jones. Why would he think it was you if he never even met you? That already was contradictory. Wack lied about Greg being the lead detective when he brought him to Clubhouse, and he even had Christopher Loveboy pushing that false narrative, which we know he was not the lead detective. Scandalous interviewed him, and he said, "No, that's not true. I'm not the lead detective." Right? Cash Jones was on the Suge Knight side of the investigation. Yeah, I think you were on multiple sides of the investigation. You caught up on this one, working on this side of the investigation, working on the other side of the investigation, and doing crimes, getting caught up on this side of the investigation. Right? And then Wack saying that nothing was found in the house. We know that guns was found in the house, multiple. We don't know what else was found in that house. We don't know what was found on your truck.
Can't hear you, OG. Can't hear you, OG. Tap back in. You in the Matrix. Can't hear you, OG.
My bad. I took the thing out and I didn't hit the thing. So we don't know what they found in the truck when they searched his diesel. You know what I'm saying? Yay area Detroiter with a $9.99 super chat. Salute to you, King. Appreciate every donation to the Damu and Keyway conversation is appreciated. Hey man, that help keep these lights on. Y'all don't know how grateful I really am that y'all be making sure that we right. But back to what I was saying about CS2 Backlemore, we don't know what else they found in that house, right? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what they found in that truck. But what we do know is that they found guns in that house. You know what I'm saying? What we do know is you told us and admit that they took some kind of files out that house. So with that, I'm going to bring this to a close, but I want y'all to remember a couple things.
Main Street shit. That was I caught the dog. Put that on that case. You know I'm the one got told on. Put that on Pyru. That didn't make statements. None of them cases. Put that on Pyru. Didn't make statements.
Put that on Pyru. You didn't make statements. Greg Caden had said, "I'm not saying it don't exist." He made statements.
Put that on Pyru. Put that on Pyru. That's gonna be another story we gonna talk about later. What's Stutterbox got to do with something? I'm talking about that paperwork, nigga. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You saying I'm on paperwork? Yeah. Bro, am I lying? Put that on Pyru. You not. Wax on paperwork. Put that on Pyru. You not. Put that on 6-0 wax on 6-0 Crip, nigga. You on paperwork.
No 6-0 Crip, nigga. You on paperwork. So Wack, we got that challenge. So for all of y'all, this is where I need y'all support. When Wack 100 go live on any platform, 100 Show, Clubhouse, No Jumper, I need everybody to tell him sign the release to your sealed files. That's the CS2 back challenge. Hashtag CS2 back challenge. Flood his chats. Turn on your notifications on Instagram. Turn on your notifications on YouTube. The CS2 back challenge is official. Let me hear what my man Panda Man got to say, and then we up out of here, man.
Hey, I'm riding with you. I fuck with you. Hey, man, don't give up. Hey, bro, you been putting in a lot of work in. Every time I log into this motherfucker, you on there. You heard me? Excuse me for my foul language. I'm gonna try to work on it. I got some feedback on it from our Fiend from No Limit interview to be a little bit more professional. You know, we all come from the same thing. But hey, Deuce, man, hey, keep going. The coach needs you. I respect you, homie. I ain't above saying it. I love you, bro. Man, you my dog. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna talk off the back end. We got to get this other interview going. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, bro, I love you. I respect you. I fuck with you, man. Don't give up. I know that shit could be hard. You every time I log in, you on here, bro. Keep going. Keep moving, bro. Keep moving. Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa. All right, salute to everybody, man. Bang that like button on your way out. We gave y'all the content. Oh, shit, he said a target or a source. Doesn't CS mean confidential source? Yes, sir, Christ is black. Hold on, before we leave, let me get to this chat. Wack is just nasty work. Greg fucked up by saying the source to try to clean it up. Talking about you definitely weren't that. Man, get the fuck out of here. 100, a source of information. Facts. If Wack admits to making the call and everything else back did, ask Wack if he isn't back. What name is he in the paperwork? Right.
Real talk. Real talk.
Persona that was named Wack first. And he says Wack doesn't exist, but he also claimed that he was CK Wack, which means he could still be confidential source through back. Facts. He tried to blow people off with that. For him to even know a police is suspect. Yo, Joker said funky roll foreplay. Wack a freaky WrestleManiac. Wack the WrestleManiac. Clubhouse Crazy TV. Salute to CCTV, the bro. Hey, that nigga said that nigga's a Wack the WrestleManiac. Why he feels so confident about talking to police? I thought we still avoid them. No, Mikey, I ain't gonna front. Deuce has already connected the dots, and it all leads to Pork Butt being CS2 back's handler. He just said it, yeah. OG CS2 back. So that would explain why CS2 back would never cross Pork Butt. Facts. That's a fact. That's who brought Wack around. Hashtag ETE. Expose it. He been told on himself 8 years ago when he first started clowning on the net. I always side-eyed him. Oh, you missed it. Christ is black Wack. CCTV. Hey, man, look, we out of here. Salute. I remember Juice once said he's no legal beagle on the yard. that are specialists on reading paperwork and sorting through that bullshit. That's why you see how Deuce breaks it down. He listened for keywords. That's a fact, bro. Hey, we out of here, though. Damu Kiwe. Conversation. Oh, and he extorted Kanye. Facts. Damu Kiwe. Allegedly.